Alright, I should be live, and it looks like I am. Today, believe it or not, we're playing a Solair, if you didn't pick that up from the title and thumbnail. Where is my phone? There it is. I need to tell people that I'm live real quick, and we can get into this. If I can remember how to use my phone. I was going to stream yesterday, but I got a repetitive strain injury, and I could not use my thumb. So, if YouTube would actually take me to my channel, come on, there we go. Okay. And then... Okay, so, first and foremost, once we get out, of the asylum, I'm going to use soul duping to just get minimum stats. For now, I think I'm just going to take some of this off so I can go at a decent speed. Solair mid-rolls, so obviously I'm going to get to the point where I can mid-roll. Don't have the spells active or equipped. Apparently he has a great heal, which I didn't know. I had to check the wiki to see what gear he had because I couldn't remember the name of his armor. The Armor of the Sun, because it's different from all the iron stuff. But apparently he has Lightning Spear and Great Heal. I thought he just had Lightning Spear. I was gonna try to make my character actually look like Solair, but didn't really have time to do that. I started streaming a little late already, so I didn't want to go through making a character look somewhat kind of almost similar to Solair and it still be awful. Anyway, I'm going to use the broadsword to actually take out the asylum demon, since I can't use the sunlight straight sword quite yet. I'm not going to pick up any other gear throughout the run. I'm not going to be using like any other miracles or whatever, as much as I would want to use lightning weapon. Praise the sun indeed. He flirts with you. He flirts with you regardless of your gender. Multiple people, including someone who I thought was cool. I'm just kidding. If you know who you are and you see this, I'm completely joking. But multiple people thought that it was a joke that he flirts with you, but it's very clearly actual joking. It's very clearly not joking, because he's supposed to be uniquely endearing, right? Like, that's his whole thing. That's his character trait. He's uniquely endearing. And no other character flirts with you, right? So it makes sense that Solair, the character that they want you to be endeared to in a unique way and want to, would actually flirt with you. Doesn't seem like too much of a hot take. And apparently most of the community agreed with me, since he got well over 50% of the votes in a poll that had 5 options. I thought Vince and Nico would have been a lot more popular, despite them getting like 2 or 3% of the vote, because I think it's funny that devout religious figures could be gay. But unfortunately, they got the least vote by far. And then Gwendolyn only got less because Solair flirts with you. And Gwendolyn is queer, but not, like, gay. I'm surprised Priscilla got 3rd, to be honest, especially since there's nothing in the game to indicate that she's queer at all. But I think several bi women and lesbians, and probably straight men too, have a crush on her, so that makes sense. I don't even remember who the other person on the vote was. But alright, time to dupe some souls so I can actually wield stuff. Come on. There we go. I'm good at the game, I swear. Okay, what's the requirement? 12, 12, and 14. 12, 12, and 14. Wow, that took significantly fewer levels than I was expecting. I also need 2 attunement slots, and then throw the rest into endurance. So hopefully I can mid-roll. Tune magic, put on lightning spear. Oh, I need more faith for those. Okay, I forgot about that. That's fine. That's easy to get. Now hopefully I'll be able to mid-roll. Okay. Taking gaming to a whole new level. That's still fat roll. Oops. Okay, can I Okay, good enough. So the shield is kind of useful in mid-roll range. Sexy party Solair it is. I don't know anyone who wouldn't get freaky with Solair, to be honest. He's very freakyable. Hopefully I won't have to stop the stream in the middle because of repetitive strain injury, but that is a possibility, unfortunately. I will do my best to get through. And it wasn't hurting this morning, so hopefully I'll be okay. Sexy party Solaire is a little gay. What are we talking about? The worst part about Solaire being the gayest character in the game is that I'm a lesbian. So, like, I get it. I totally get it. But he's not my type because he's a guy. Oh, you know, I probably should do Solaire's quest and summon him for, like, the gargoyles and stuff, huh? That's probably a good idea. I'm gonna go ahead and run around to Andre anyway real quick. And then obliterate the Taurus demon. Everyone's a little gay for Solaire, that is true. Are you saying you don't like Solaire's face? Like, again, I get it. I understand. But I don't know. Solaire is one of the more attractive men, in my opinion. Okay, let's see if mid-rolls drastically affect my ability to get through here. Seems to work just fine, though. Yeah, my voice has changed a lot since then. I didn't even do it on purpose. Like, I think I've always just naturally talked like this. And in high school or whatever, I was insecure, so I started talking lower. I was going to make my character look like Solaire, but I didn't have time. And I'm not good at Dark Souls character creation sliders anyway, so unfortunately, I did not do that. But people have data mined Solaire's face. He's not that bad looking. Yeah, most people on YouTube generally are a guy. I understand people like assuming that, and it doesn't really bother me, especially since I intentionally don't do voice training because, I mean, I like my voice. But yeah, no, I get it. I'm surprised that Black Knight isn't chasing me, actually. Is the Sunlight Straightsword good? I have no idea. I know it's like all right, but I don't know if it's like good. I've never used it because the few times that I do kill Solaire, it's for a bit in a video or, you know, at the end of the game because I forgot to save him. Pretty meh. That makes sense. How is that like compared to the broadsword? It's exactly the same with higher requirements and durability. That's really funny. I mean, that's also partially why I do it. Like, I like my voice, but also I don't voice train because I want to normalize just having the voice you want, regardless of your gender. Straight sword on the gay character. Yeah, it's true. It's a tragedy. I think Solaire should have a curved sword. The curved Sunlight straight sword. If I knew how to mod the game, I would definitely do that. Unfortunately, I have no idea how to mod the game. I don't think Solaire is capable of being a freakazoid. You know, he's very himbo. And like the himbo archetype just kind of isn't freaky like the bimbo archetype. As a bimbo myself. More souls. Bisexual Christian equivalent? I don't know about that. I mean, I think he's more of a hedonist, honestly. That's kind of my reading. Not knowing too much about his character. I would totally play Freak Souls. That sounds like an awesome game. Okay, I need, what was it, 24 faith? Jeez. And then some more endurance, so I can actually mid-roll with the armor on. And then... yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, if you want to voice train, there's nothing wrong with it. I just didn't want to, so I didn't. And like there are a lot of TikToks that are like, oh, these are voice training tips. If you want to be more feminine, you should be voice training, and you can do this, this, and this to sound more feminine. Like, what are you talking about? Voices aren't inherently feminine or masculine. Like, huh? The only reason those conceptions exist is because of like societal norms, and it's so frustrating. But I know that a lot of people really do or are dysphoric about their voice, and I know that voice training helps a lot of people and those videos help a lot of people, but it's just so frustrating to see that. Yeah, this I've used the broadsword the whole game, and I like the broadsword, but obviously I've never used this. We live in a society. I haven't actually seen any Joker media. I am so surprised. That was such a late parry. Okay. Apparently I'm good at the video game. An androgynous squawk. I'm at the point where I'm like more comfortable with my gender and like femininity / masculinity generally. And I'm identifying more with the masculine parts of myself. Like I didn't do that for a long time because I was so put off of it, you know, by being forced to be a man for so long. And because I was exploring that more, I was thinking that I might be non-binary, but I've ultimately come to the conclusion that I am definitely a woman who just happens to have some masculine traits, which I mean all women do, so. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say they got harder, because like I think Dark Souls 2 is harder to get a grip on for parries than Dark Souls 3, but the Dark Souls 3 ones, I don't know. It's harder for me to consistently parry in Dark Souls 3, but it was harder for me to learn how to parry in Dark Souls 2, so I don't know, it's kind of... yeah. It's okay. All trans people have wonderful voices. Is it gated? I think it is gated Praise the Sun, to be honest. I don't know if a hedonist reading of Solair is common. That's just kind of what my brain goes to. Because, like, he's just kind of going for what he wants, right? Like, he wants a son for himself, and he does everything he can to get that, regardless of whatever. Oops. I need to remember how buttons... Need more souls. Brace two-handed Ultra Great Swords. True. I should be doing that. Unfortunately, Solair does not. I forgot I had this soul. There should be plenty. Get to at least +3. Not that I need it for the Taurus Demon, but it'll be funny, so it's okay. Oops. Not quite enough to get to +4, but it doesn't matter. Daggers? I mean, daggers are really good in, like... I don't know, daggers can be really good in Dark Souls 1. Like, if you get an infusion, or even just use pine resins or whatever, daggers can be really, really good. And then, like, the Reduvia and Elden Ring is pretty good. In Dark Souls 2, daggers are insane how high your DPS can get. Like, even if you're not going for, like, the highest possible DPS, you throw on Dark Weapon and Whispers of whatever. I don't remember the name of the spell. But you put those on and you shred. It's awesome. Not sure about Dark Souls 3. I know in Dark Souls 3, they're really, really good for, like, ripostes, obviously. Especially since you can quickly swap your weapon really easily. Not really easily, but it's easier to quickly swap your weapon, words, than it is in Dark Souls 1. In my first playthrough of Elden Ring, I just played through Elden Ring again because I didn't have a character that was ready to go into the DLC. And I've been wanting to do a Claymore run since my first playthrough. I got the Claymore and I picked it up and I used it exclusively for a long time up until the fire giant, and the damage, because I wasn't upgrading it properly, just was not good. So I ended up switching into a spellsword build, but I did go back and finally do a Claymore playthrough and then put the DLC. Multiple people offered to buy it for me, which was weird, but I thought I wasn't going to be playing it anytime soon, but of course I play it release week. The Gut Sword. Is the Gut Sword good in Elden Ring? Is the Banished Knight's Greatsword? Or is there a different weapon called the Knight's Greatsword specifically? I should be playing this game like I play Dark Souls 1 and not try to start playing it like I have been playing Dark Souls 3. Going back, I just finished recording yesterday the Dark Souls 3 like second half of the game video. And going from the Elden Ring like DLC back into Dark Souls 3 is like going from Dark Souls 3 back to Dark Souls 2. It's such a weird shift and was so difficult to like get back in the groove of the game. I didn't know there was a Knight's Greatsword. I like Lion's Claw, but I ended up switching off of it. Actually, once I got to the DLC, I found a greatsword. I'm not going to spoil anything, so I don't need to worry about that. But I found a greatsword like at the beginning of the DLC and used that for the rest of the game. Not great, but... Alright, Solair, let's see how good you are at parrying. Medium shields. Medium shield parrying is my forte. So, shouldn't be too bad. Oh, I have Lightning Spear. Does he have Great Lightning Spear or just normal Lightning Spear? I think I just clicked Lightning Spear because that was the first one I saw. I don't know. I've tried to do several playthroughs in Elden Ring with just greatswords. Like one of my playthroughs was Banished Knight's Greatsword with Death's Poker. And it was fine up until Morgott. And when you're not just spamming the weapon art, it makes it so difficult. Freaktistic? That's a compliment. Tell them thank you. That's awesome. Someone who is in my Discord, I will not say names for privacy's sake, followed me on TikTok, which is weird because I don't post anything on TikTok. I probably should because last time I did that, I was not pretty. But I clicked on their profile to see if it was like actually them. I don't know why I didn't think it was. Their name is pretty distinctive. But the first video I saw said that their best friend called them an estrogen muncher, which is so funny. Freak Knight, that's such a good question. Elden Ring is one of the few games that I don't fashion in ever. Dark Souls 1 is also kind of like that, unless I'm using the brass armor. Oh wait, this one. I want to say damage. Okay, not bad for a Taurus demon at least. Too bad I can't use Emit Force or Wrath of the Gods or any of the cool good miracles, but it's fine. Yeah, I don't ever PvP. Just not my thing. Oh, good. Hiya. I also love video games. Video games generally are one of my special interests, which is weird because so many people lump video games as a concept together into its own thing, which doesn't make sense to me. Because like Souls-like games are just a completely different thing in my mind from racing games, right? So someone will be like, oh, I burned myself out on video games, so I haven't played them in a while. But like, what are you talking about? You played, what, Madden for 3 years and haven't touched any game ever? Have you ever tried, like, anything? Anyway. Side tangent. This is strange. Seeing two Solairs. I feel like I have to do this quest, though. I feel like if you will engage in self-cest, that's like the gayest you can get. So. The Dark Souls speedrunner. I don't even speedrun Dark Souls. As much as I like Dark Souls, that's not one of the games I want to speedrun. Well, okay, I did Petrus %, but that's different. That doesn't count. For some reason, you're partial to the Embracer. I wonder why. That's a really good question. Okay, sexy party Solair for a second so I can actually run past the Drake. This is still mid-roll? Okay. Self-cest debate. No, it's not a debate. If you engage in self-cest, that just is, by definition, gay, right? I don't know. There's no debate there. Whether or not it's like normal or whatever, I don't care. First time I played Dark Souls, I went straight to the catacombs and hated it, and then I went back to it after playing a little bit of Dark Souls 2 and 3 and loved it, and it became my favorite game of all time very quickly. So, it is spiritually gay, yes. Like, it is definitionally and spiritually, for sure. Like, you can't tell me that a straight person would want to do things with themselves. I mean, I don't think normalcy matters generally. Um, so I don't think it matters whether or not it is a thing that exists. But in terms of being a construct that people adhere to, yes, normalcy does exist, I think. Arithmetically gay. Yes, also. Maybe not, actually. That one's a little iffy. Solair freak Stora. Astora, more like Sodom and Gomorrah, am I right? Okay. I want to get to +5, and then we can fight the gargoyles. I have also... Okay, so... my mom used to like going to rock beaches a lot. And every now and then, like, there'd be a cool one with rocks for, like, my brothers and I to jump around on or whatever. But she would always want to go to rocky beaches so she could rock hunt, like pick up cool rocks or whatever. And I never understood that. And then I swear to God, the first time I went to a beach after I transitioned, we went to a rock beach and I just started picking up cool rocks. I didn't even think about it. I got a glass jar to show them off and everything. Completely unintentionally. But I get it now. Tism beach walk. Alright, good luck. Have fun in Dragon Age Inquisition. Is Dragon Age the one where they have, like, they don't have hearts or whatever? Or is that the other one? I don't remember. I played the one where you don't have a heart and then, like, the dragon something something. And I only played it for a little bit. But it was the first game. Yeah, unfortunately, Astora stopped existing by the time Dark Souls 2 came around, so... Astora does not and will not ever exist. I mean, technically, Lordran also stopped existing by the time Dark Souls 2 rolled around, but then Dark Souls 3 came up. Oh, hey, Smash Highlights. It's been a while, hasn't it? You're the Car Quest speedrunner, right? Or, well, former, at least. It's been a while. I really need to get that... What was it? That, world record history video done. I have the script mostly written, but I kind of want to rewrite it because it wasn't very well written. Yeah. Thank you for the congratulations. A pet rock food poisoning? I'm so sorry. That's awful. A 99 luck challenge run? I don't know. I feel like that wouldn't be that bad. It would just be soul level 1, but using Honorary Straight Sword instead. Or whatever luck scaling is. Whatever infusion luck scaling is. If you think you might have autism, I would highly recommend taking the, I think it's called the RADS-R test. You can find it online for free pretty easily. And it's like a self-administered test. So you're supposed to take it by yourself. You're not supposed to, like, go to a doctor. And it's not like if you get a certain number on this test, you definitely have autism. It's like, if you get a high number on this test, you probably have autism. Hollow weapons? But aren't hollow weapons specifically made to do more damage to hollow enemies? I forgot to be human. I gotta summon. Ugh. Darn. Here's what you get. I would hate that so much. Especially since that wouldn't really work at a low level. If I just, like, pumped luck up as soon as I started the game, and then could level whatever from then on. But I would get so few levels because I would already be a high level. Firebombs build. Didn't Lemon already do that? I don't think I'm allowed to do that anymore, unfortunately. I don't think Dark Souls 4 would be very good or should exist at all because, I mean, it would take the Dark Souls world and just do Elden Ring, right? Probably because marketing or whatever. Well, I don't know. Miyazaki is kind of immune to that in a lot of ways, but I don't think that it would be a very good game in terms of like Dark Souls. It would be a good Souls like probably, but I don't know. Lemon has commented on one of my videos. I think it was the Scythe only one, because he also uploaded his Scythe only video like that day completely on accident. I need to not die actually. The funny Discord? Is that my Discord where everyone is really gay? That video, it was kind of surprising because the comment that I left on Lemon's video got more likes than the video itself. Oh god, I didn't think I'd be able to be hit from there. That channeler. Okay, there we go. Let's go, Solair. Come on. Solair and Solair fighting the gargoyles. Dark Souls 2 too. I mean, that's kind of what Elden Ring was. But if they added open world and Dark Souls 3 style combat and a lot of delays and a lot of annoying enemies and bosses. I like Elden Ring. I swear I do. It's just my least favorite. Solair, come on. Solair. Solair, come on. What are you doing? I need you. Solair Zest. Freak Souls too. Somebody needs to make a Dark Souls parody and call it Freak Souls, I think. Yeah, Solair! He's doing it. Do it. What all bosses can you summon Solair for? Because I know the gargoyles and ONS, obviously, and then Gwyn, but are there any others? Half-Life 2, Half-Life 2 1, and Half-Life 2 2. This is true, they did do that. Also, how do you get the Praise the Sun? Is that the Covenant thing? Is that how you get that? Oh yeah, Gaping Dragon. Centipede Demon too? I also forgot about Centipede Demon. I did know Centipede Demon and I forgot. Didn't the whole Mr. Beast having a trans person on his team happen a long time ago? Like, isn't that over? I don't know. Elden Ring, the thing about Elden Ring is I understand why it's a lot of people's favorites, especially if they started out with it. But it's just not what I personally wanted to see. So I have a lot of gripes with it. And then there's stuff that's just like annoyingly bad, like the gargoyles. I know a lot of people really like Malekith, for instance, but I hated Malekith. It seems like the general sentiment is that like the DLC final boss is way too hard. No spoilers again. I would also ask that you avoid posting spoilers in chat, despite me having seen the whole game. Just for people who haven't played the DLC yet. But it seems like the general consensus is that the final boss of the DLC is like a little too much, which I totally agree with. And I'm surprised is the common sentiment, because usually it's not. I don't know. I don't think the reuse of certain enemies is that bad. Like the tree spirits especially, I think is fine. What really gets me is the reuse of enemies like Godric. And then the first Remembrance boss in the DLC is just reused. I don't think that counts as a spoiler. I'm sorry if you think that's a spoiler. But like just the fact that there's just another one of them, despite seeming like such a unique thing, that's so annoying. Yeah, I don't think like the Erdtree Avatar reuse is that bad, or the Ulcerated Tree Spirit. Probably mostly because I enjoy fighting them, and all of them are optional anyway. Wasn't the ulcerated tree spirit like literally a Bloodborne boss that they just repurposed? Or a Bloodborne boss that didn't actually make it into the game that got repurposed? If Oh, damn it. Oops. I did too. And then I started using a greatsword and I jump attack them a few times and then they die, so. The boat guy? Do you mean the Tibia Mariner? I got parried. This is tragic. How could this happen to me? My own tech used against me. I don't know. I don't think... I have to fight Centipede Demon. I was going to say I don't think it's worth it to fight Centipede Demon, but I have to. For Solair's quest. I mean, I don't have to do Solair's quest, but that's part of his quest, and I feel like I should. I don't know what the... I know the general consensus is that self-diagnosis is cool and good. And generally more accurate than professional diagnoses, at least in my experience. But, you know, that's under the caveat that you do a lot of actual research and don't just say, hey, I relate to this one person. Not that I'm saying that you would, but just for people who don't understand that. I used to be so terrible at pairing these guys, and then I did a run where I used all of their stuff, and I was just trying to get their armor from the rapier guys, especially the one down here. I killed over and over and over and over. The one in the corner is a rapier one, and I got pretty good at pairing them. I don't need to go this way. But yeah, so what I did personally to self-diagnose was I did the Radzar, obviously, and then I read a little bit of the DSM or whatever it's called, the thing that, you know, has the actual diagnosis criteria. I talked to several autistic people, got their experiences and whatever, watched a lot of videos. I probably went a little bit overboard because I didn't want to just be wrong about it and be an ass, but yeah, DSM. And turns out, yeah, I have autism. That's part of the reason. Okay, my very, very first playthrough of Dark Souls, the one where I went straight to the catacombs and died and stopped playing, I smacked him a couple times because I thought he was being a jerk. And he started attacking me as soon as I got up from the bonfire. And it took me probably 10 minutes, but I did eventually kill him, and I felt so proud of myself. I didn't think he was going to be like a hard enemy, especially after the asylum, and then he was. And then that followed up by the skeletons just kind of made me quit because I didn't know what I was doing. Alright, have fun playing Dragon Age Inquisition. Stop the gameplay? Unfortunately, I cannot do that. However, we're just going to be doing the lower Burg, so you won't be missing much. Solair makes you goob. I understand. See, now I'm playing with Dark Souls 3. I shouldn't be doing this. I'm always goobing. Oh, I should have taken out Latrek, huh? That's fine. Potential autism. That's my favorite diagnosis. Oh my god. I mean, it's not like I use autism, or anyone that I know uses autism as an excuse for anything. Just reasoning. Like, I have very, very bad PDA a lot of the time, especially when it's something that I really do not want to do. Even if I need to do it, it'll take so much effort for me to actually do it. And that's because of autism, right? So if I don't get something done that I need to do, that's because of my autism. But I'm not using it as an excuse, right? Because there are ways for me to work around that. So, I don't know. Or like a lot of the way I talk will be not tone deaf, but won't have the correct tone that I'm trying to give it. Like I'll try to be sarcastic, but it'll come off as genuine, right? And that's also because of autism. And that's a good way to be like, hey, I didn't mean to offend you or whatever. Like I was being sarcastic, but I have a hard time expressing that because I'm autistic. Or I have a hard time picking that up because I'm autistic. And it's not an excuse. It just is like why it happens. Learning I was autistic was such a cool thing because it helped me understand so much of what was happening in my life and why I felt the way I did. Oh, okay. So you're masking, I see. Dry finger, butthole messages. I agree. That's so true. Solair needs significantly more, especially like in Orlando when he starts flirting with you. Right. Dogs. I don't think the dogs will be that bad. Simply because shield. What? Okay, maybe when there are two of them and I can't hit them because the terrain. Solair is extremely gay. In fact, he's the only character that I would say is explicitly gay in Dark Souls, except for like Gwendolyn, but that's not gay gay. That's just queer, you know. I probably should have leveled up, but it's fine. Like, he literally flirts with you, regardless of your gender. If that's not gay, then nothing is gay. I know a lot of people really complain about the lower Burg. Oh, God. And I don't understand why. Like, I don't know. The thieves can be kind of annoying, and the dogs can also be kind of annoying. But just use a shield and or poise, and they stop being a threat whatsoever. I always forget about that one. Okay, dog down. Oh, God. I didn't want to hit that one. They can parry the heavy. Oh, God. I was expecting so much more damage. I'm going to bleed, and that will not go good for me. They do deflect your attacks, but you can attack through walls with heavy jumping attacks. All weapons can do that. They also don't bonk off the boars, regardless of your weapon, for instance. Enemies can't parry jumping attacks? I had no idea. I thought they could, to be honest. Especially since the player can, at least from, like, Gwyn, for instance. I have been parried twice this run. This is tragic. This is more than I've ever been parried in my whole life. Right. Boys. Boys makes Capper easy. I might have lied, but it's fine. Run. How much poise does this armor give me? There we go. Capper's easy. Oh. That was less damage than I was expecting, but... Uh-oh. Wait, no, hold on, wait. Okay, that's significantly more damage, but is not very safe to do right now. I've been playing trying to get stackers in Elden Ring and Dark Souls 3 a lot. And that doesn't work as well in Dark Souls 1. Like, it can, especially if you're using, like, a huge weapon. Like a great axe or hammer or whatever. Oh, God. But I probably shouldn't be doing that with a straight sword. What is happening? Uh-oh. Okay, that was scary. Oh, yeah. There we go. You wastrel go and eat. I'm sorry, I have no idea what that means. Oh, okay. No mind. Someone said they haven't eaten. You should definitely go and eat. Not eating for 2 days is bad for your health. At least most of the time. Terraria will be there when you get back, and you have not eaten in 2.5 days. 7 times in a row. That is a lot of times to be parried. Yeah, okay. I should have plenty of humanity to summon Solair all the times that I need to. Because it's just gaping and Centipede. Yeah, but Solair uses it. You think Solair is just a bisexual in denial? Is that the lore? Is that why he uses the straight sword? I think that's the lore. Maybe... Oh, excuse me. I should pick up a curved sword instead. Because, like, he does flirt with you. regardless of your gender. So he's definitely bisexual. But do you think he's in denial? Okay. What should I level? I don't want to end up fast rolling because Solair doesn't fast roll, obviously. So I think my endurance is plenty where it's at. I should probably get some vitality. Only parry, don't riposte. What a power play. Well, I mean, you can't infuse a Star Straight Sword in this game, huh? Never mind. I was gonna say the Star Straight Sword is in this game, but too bad. I mean, his armor is there, right? I know you can get the Sunlight Straight Sword in the castle. I'm not sure about his armor though. I think so. I assume so. The best thing about Dark Souls 3 were the like two-handed parries on certain weapons. But, you know, Remastered brought that to Dark Souls 1. And Dark Souls 1 is just better. So, like... How many parry frames, like, relative to, I don't know, Cestus or whatever, did the Katana parry have? I don't know what the normal amount of parry frames are in Dark Souls 3. I know it's relatively lower than Dark Souls 1. Or at least the timing is significantly different. Right. Right. Yeah. You know, somebody said Laurentius was gay. And I feel awful for not putting him on the poll. I thought Vincent Nico would be funny, but I genuinely didn't think about Laurentius as gay. Just because, I don't know, he doesn't give me those vibes personally. But he definitely should have been represented. Dang, this game's hard. Dark Souls. Or like, hard Souls. I'm sorry. Whoa, hey now. Can you parry that? I don't think you can parry that. I probably shouldn't have tried to parry that. It wouldn't surprise me if Limit Breakers had a video on Dark Souls 3 parry frames. Excuse me. That's a grab! No! Laurentius. I don't know. I feel like Laurentius would be a good lover. He wouldn't ghost you. Laurentius is too kind for that. But is he gay or is he bi? Because he treats all characters the same, just like Solair, right? Maybe he's pan. You're bound to die to every enemy eventually, if you play enough. I know I've died to most of them. I haven't died to the Phalanx. The Phalanx in the Painted World. I just kind of forgot that move was a grab. I don't know. Physically, Laurentius isn't my type. But I get it. I understand. Do you think Laurentius is... It's always Dark Souls. Like, I know I'm kind of inviting it this time with the whole Solair's gay thing. But it's always the Dark Souls streams. Just go off the rails. I've been thinking of doing Elden Ring stream. Because I want to do a thing where I play through all of Elden Ring using stuff that would be in Dark Souls. So right now, I'm thinking like Claymore and just a heater shield. And just playing through the game like that, no summons or whatever. But I don't know if I should stream that or not. Where's the dog? What? Where's the dog? Huh? That's so confusing. The Sun Kingdom shield? I don't think I have ever found that weapon. I shouldn't have died to the butcher last time, by the way. That was... I don't even know what it was, to be honest. Skill issue, I suppose. But yeah, I want to do like a very normal build just because I'm not good at Elden Ring. I would want to do a very basic build that doesn't use very many. Beaten the game with summons, mostly because I didn't want to learn the game at the time and I just wasn't having fun not using summons. So I started using summons, right, to have more fun. But I do want to learn the game now, especially after like going through and enjoying it significantly more after playing Dark Souls 3. So, I don't know. I think that'd be fun to do. Especially since the Elden Ring DLC just came out. It would be a good time to do that as well. And I'd obviously use Torrent because the game running around the open world forever, just not on Torrent would not be fun. I don't know if I'd use it in boss fight. I don't know. Shield of Honor depicting a city crowned by the sun has seen better days. Much like the wear upon the shield, the seat of the sun is long faded away. That is a Lordran. Do you think that's just an allusion to Lordran, or they were just trying to like get people to think that Dark Souls and Elden Ring are in the same world? Yeah, my favorite weapon in Elden Ring is the... I don't know if the name counts as a spoiler, so I'm not going to name it. But it's the great sword that you can find at the very beginning of the DLC from the Mausoleum. And then my entire DLC build... I'm not human. I need to be human. My entire DLC build has been that sword with that armor. The archery is an arch tree? I mean, doesn't need... Well, welcome to the stream while you can be fun. Thank you for joining. My endurance is at like level 40, and I'm using Erdtree's Favor +2, plus the Great Jar's Arsenal, so I can just barely wield it. I have the Blue Dew Talisman on, so that I can actually use the weapon art without investing too much into mind. But I already have decently high mind because of Tish, so... But I've already done all the difficult bosses. I've done all the Remembrance bosses and stuff. But I don't think I've beaten Melania or Godfrey in the base game on that build, so... Very fun build. Yeah, not being human is very tragic sometimes. Unfortunately, though, I am not Therian. I am plural, which some people might consider. I haven't fought Melania enough to learn her, but I also haven't wanted to, so... Alright, Gaping Dragon is weak to lightning too, so this will hopefully be a pretty easy fight. Are the gargoyles weak to lightning? Wouldn't surprise me. Playing Dark Souls 3 yesterday really confused me because you can kind of fight Nameless King like the princes, and the princes are one of my favorite bosses in the series. But Nameless is one of my least favorite, and I could not tell you why. Is he not going to do the slam? This is messed up. Not that slam. Oh, and the channeler, of course. I forgot the channeler. Why did you throw that at the ground? What? Everything's fine. Gargoyles are weak to lightning. Okay. Solair is already almost dead. Come on. Oh, rest in peace. Uh-oh. That is not a good time for you to do that. Stop. Move, please. Okay. At least I can get a hit or two on the head this time. Can I? I don't think I can, actually. This is so messed up. I did not kill Solair for a set. I figured that would be kind of outside the spirit of the run, to be honest. Ugh, ouchie. Hello, Eric. He is bisexual, which in this context is close enough to gay. So yes. Oh, that's such good damage. Okay. Eh. I should have taken out the channeler. That probably would have helped Solair not die. Okay. So the question is, do I push through? Or do I stop and go kill the channeler and get Solair again? Need to heal, at the very least. Whoa. Okay, come on. What? That's kind of what I make my videos for. Just to be something to listen to, because that's the kind of content I watch, right? So I'm glad that my content fills the niche that I wish it to. Okay, I guess this damage isn't too atrocious. It's bad, but it's not like the worst I've ever used. there are so many puns with Gaping Dragon and Solair in the same sentence, and I don't know how I feel about them. Trying to be a Gaping Dragon. I think Solair is. I think Solair is a bottom. This is a wonderful live for you to catch first. They tend to devolve into this, but they don't usually end up like this at less than an hour into the stream. It's usually by the time we get to the DLC, we start flirting with Manus or whatever. What? Does that do weapon durability damage? I actually don't remember. Ouchie. Oh, that's not good. I also specifically wanted the Unremarkable and Odd Places video to be incredibly like relaxing and chill. I know a lot of people didn't have that experience because of the pace that I talk at, as well as like the camera swinging around. I didn't think it was that bad, but some people did have, or did find it annoying. So, but I'm glad that it works like that for, it seems like the majority of people at least. I'm very glad that video did well, because that's one of my favorite videos I've ever uploaded. True, earlier does mean more time to beat evolved. We avenged Solair, it's okay. I usually skip the depths. Well, I mean, I'll grab like large ember if I'm doing you're using a weapon that can use it, but generally I'll skip the depths as well. However, I needed to fight the Gaping Dragon. Might as well go through Blighttown proper now that we're here. Shouldn't be too bad. Solair is a switch. That's a good take. I agree. I've changed my mind. Solair is a switch. I think it would be not like a submissive top, but he would only top if he knew you wanted to, and he's totally okay with being a bottom if you're a top. You know what I mean? Certified hoodbanger. I'm honored to be given that moniker for any of my work. Wait. I need to not look at chat for a second because I don't want to make this jump or completely miss this jump and die. Oh, of course. Good thing the bonfire is right here. I think... Oh my god. I wonder if Solair helps you kill Gwyn because he's a fake son. You know what I mean? Like... I don't know. I'm trying to think of what his reasoning could be, and I have no idea actually. Okay, vitality, or what is a scale with? I assume it's quality. Yeah, it's quality. Strength, sure. The toxic snipers aren't that bad. Like, that one is only bad because it can get you at the bonfire, but if you're, like, going through the game as it expects you to, you'll probably be taking it out before you get to the bonfire anyway. I really need to get this thing to +10. Oh my god. Pardon me. Running through Blighttown is not advisable, by the way. Do as I say, not as I do, please. For your own sake. I'm only doing this because I know where I'm going generally. And even then, that might be an overstatement. Okay. Don't remember where to go. Never mind. Like I said, overstatement. Okay, we're at the bottom of a blight town. And we're getting shot at by a sniper. That's so awesome. Pardon me. Pardon me. Thank you. That worked shockingly well. Oh god. Oh god. Run. Drop. No, please. Dang it. Solair is lured by fake suns. Maybe it's because he wanted... Like, he didn't want a fake sun, right? He wanted his own son. And Gwyn is very specifically not his son. Like, he is a son, but just the fact that he doesn't... He's very set in his own ways. And Solair didn't want to be forced to follow in someone else's son's footsteps. You know what I mean? He wanted to be his own man. Hello, Brenda. After your bedtime, maybe you should go to bed. I mean, you've been at streams before, right? Running shoes and blindfold? Maybe don't do that. That seems difficult. I love Blighttown. Blighttown is one of my favorite areas in this game. I know that's not a very common take, but a lot of the people who like this game for the same reasons I do agree with me. So it's not like a hot take, I don't think. Even though I do very much have a lot of Dark Souls hot takes. Damn it, I uploaded a boss tier list, and to my Discord. Like I put one together, and then I posted it to my Discord. And I don't think a single person there agreed with me. At least not with all of what I said. And I'm thinking of making that a video on its own, like my boss tier list. I need to heal faster. I'm thinking of making a video of putting together a boss tier list just to give my justifications and calling it something like, this is the worst boss tier list you've ever seen. Refunded Dark Souls because of Blighttown? Skill issue. Right. Quaylag shouldn't be too bad with a +0. Or +5, I mean. God, I would hate to be down here with a +0, jeez. Just got Gravelorded? That's so awesome. Being Gravelorded is super uncommon. I don't think I can be Gravelorded. Or like, I don't know, in terms of PvP generally, it's pretty uncommon. I don't think I can be Gravelorded because I'm softbanned, but... Yeah, true. PlayStation 3 Blighttown is different from PC Blighttown. Don't like Blighttown because it smells, but that's what makes it so great. I mean, yeah, it is miserable in your first playthrough, but that's unironically what makes it great. That's what's so fun about it. It's stressful and difficult and can be annoying at times, and it's so much fun to finally conquer. Cathedral's alright. You know, definitely not my favorite area in Dark Souls 3, but definitely not anywhere near my least favorite. Yeah, Sens is my favorite area. Oh, excuse me. Favorite area in Dark Souls 1. But Blighttown is up there. Ouchie. For me, I'm surprised that hit me. For me, the combat of Elden Ring is what really gets me. Not necessarily the player movement, but enemy movements. They make it real hard for me to comprehend the game. Is Solair shield big? I feel like that can be an innuendo. I love how much damage this does. Yeah, true. A lot of stuff in Elden Ring. I don't know. I feel like you can use a lot of stuff, but so much of it is just worse than other stuff, like objectively. So I don't know. I know it wasn't intended as an innuendo, but it can be taken as one. Uh-oh. Okay, it's this one. We're fine. I didn't spend any time putting this build together. I used DSR Gadget because I felt like killing Solair in his stream wasn't a good look. Solair probably does. Honestly, in order to attempt to not be demonetized once I get my monetization back. I'm sure Solair does have very large things. He gives off very much BDE. I feel like anything having to do with Solair in any of my streams will be taken as an innuendo, just because of how my streams are. Oh yeah, your favorite was the twin swords that you get from the boss that I will not spoil anymore of. I wanted to use it because it does look super cool and is super fun to use, but it's just the damage is not there. Yeah, Solaire swings both ways. That's what makes him gay. In this context, gay is queer, which is why I also included Gwendolyn. Because Gwendolyn's sexuality is completely different from his identity and being queer. Like, he could be into women and that would still be queer, because he's, you know, basically a trans man. There we go. I think Shadow of the Erdtree has a lot of good options for pretty much every build, but it definitely focused a lot more on like Arcane than the base game, for instance, just because the base game didn't focus that much on Arcane, which I think is cool. Though that might just be because of the specific weapons that I found. I don't know, like, overall how much it focuses on any specific kind of build. Gwendolyn is trans hat. That's fair. I understand that. Personally not gay, but hate people who think it's bad. I mean, the people who think it's bad only think it's bad because they're stupid, so... I'm going to pull out Sexy Party Solaire for a little bit, just for... I want to fast roll. There we go. Sexy Party Solaire just for Ceaseless, real quick. I did play Shadow of the Erdtree. I think it's generally better than the base game, but a lot of the bosses are just really bad. I won't spoil any names, but are bad in my opinion. I should be careful about that. Though it does have my favorite boss of the game by far. They are pink, if you're curious which one it is. I think there's only one pink boss. It's the pink boss that's part of the main story that you have to do. And then also what I think is the coolest boss with Hog Rider sucks. That one was so bad. Solaire is bisexual. He will flirt with you regardless of what gender your character is. Twins Y with LB spam. I think the world and like legacy dungeons of Shadow of the Erdtree are better than the base game significantly. At least, you know, for me. But a lot of the bosses were just alright. Mesmer was a boss. That's for sure. The treacherous twink. Is that Yoda on Luke's shoulders? That treacherous twink? Yeah, going from light to mid-roll is barely a difference in Elden Ring. It's mostly just like a numbers difference, but in Dark Souls 1 it's a crazy huge difference. Yeah, okay. That's your favorite DLC boss? That's the one that made me completely change my build just to cheese it. I hated that boss. That was so awful. Well, that's kind of the difference between the base game and Shadow of the Erdtree. Shadow of the Erdtree is like a lot more, it's a lot smaller, and because of that, it's a lot more compact. So that's part of the reason that I think Shadow of the Erdtree is better. Though there are a lot of like random tiny caves that just lead to huge chunks of the world. Like random tiny caves that are behind buildings and random settlements that I never would have thought to explore or would have never even found, and just happen to be like the way to multiple remembrance bosses. Like, what? Wait, really? It's only the distance? I thought the actual, like, amount of iframes you got was different. It's not? That's kind of funny. Okay, damage or health? I don't need health yet. I say as I'm probably going to die a lot to Sense Fortress because I'm just bad at the video game. Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely personal taste, but like the first two remembrance bosses I definitely didn't like. I mean, I guess depending on what order you go to them. But the first two that you can reach, the only two remembrance bosses I believe that you can reach from the very beginning of the DLC. It's only the actual distance that changes. That explains a lot. I don't know. I think I didn't like Mesmer just because of like the crazy long combos. Dancing lions. Is Mesmer gay? Are the snakes dudes? They're literally inside of him, aren't they? I don't think it matters what gender the snakes are. I love Smelter Demon. Smelter Demon is one of my favorite bosses in Dark Souls 2. Smelter Demon, the Ruin Sentinels, Alana. There are a lot of really good bosses in Dark Souls 2. I think Gwendolyn snakes and Mesmer snakes should absolutely kiss. Though preferably mid-fight cutscene. Lion is mandatory? I didn't know that. I had no idea you could go around the first castle either. That's funny. But, you know, the castle one and the lion one, I hated both of them. The one under the other castle was really fun. I did like that one a lot. At first I hated it, especially the second phase, but I ended up liking it a lot. Card counter as a knockoff parry? I mean, not really. I think it fills a completely different niche from parrying, right? Because you're going to be using guard counters if you use like a heavy shield, and you're going to be using parrying if you're using, if you're using a light shield, right? So it's kind of a different thing entirely. Oh, dang it. I actually forgot about Letrek. I was going to come back here after the depths, but seconds wide at plus 25. Have fun obliterating things. Smelter Demon is in the direction that you're going, I think, because you just did Huntsman's Copse, right? I think that leads to Earthen Peak. Actually, I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it does. Hate to love more. That makes sense. I think I didn't like the castle boss because it's too aggressive for me to want to learn, I guess. I don't know. My favorite OST from the entirety of Elden Ring by far is definitely Bayle. Bayle. I don't think listening to the music will give you too much of a spoiler for the fight unless, you know, you look it up and it just shows you the boss in thumbnails because people are terrible at not showing spoilers all over the place. It's incredible, though. I love that OST so much. Did you... I know you fought the horse executioner's chariot. There it is. But did you fight the skeletons? Because it's just past the skeletons. There's a doorway in the skeleton arena that leads past to the next area. Yeah, a lot of enemies do a lot of damage. Though, honestly, the Shadow Tree blessings, like, really diminish that in a way that I think makes their insane damage more tolerable. Because, like, I think they do half the damage once you're at max blessing, right? I don't need this many large titanite shards, but I'm going to get this many large titanite shards. opinion on Skeleton Lords. I like them. I think they're fun. They kind of just... They're exclusively a Dark Souls 2 boss, though, you know? Like, that kind of boss wouldn't work in the other games, because Dark Souls 2 is more about crowd control than the other games. Drop, and negative 500. I saw people calling the shadow tree the skibbity tree. It is a very funny name. I pronounced it Skadu tree through my entire playthrough, but apparently it's Old English and is supposed to be pronounced shadow or shadow, according to people in my Discord, and I am inclined to trust them because they tend to be correct a lot of the time. I'm just doing this because I don't want to grind. I'll have to come back here to get a plus 15 anyway, and I'm gonna wait until I beat Ornstein and Smough. I need souls. Skibbity tree is crazy. Yeah, I think I got to 16 by the time I got to the final boss. I think max is 20 though, or something. I'm just gonna get a bunch of souls, so I don't have to worry about it. This one, that one, 99. Okay, then modify. Yeah, max is 20. Okay. I have no idea how I missed so many fragments, though, because I explored what I thought was pretty thoroughly. But the world is just so dense that there are probably so many caves that I just missed entirely. I'll grab this for later. Actually, I won't need it, but... Alright, good luck with that, Fen. ONS aren't on the Dark Souls men tier list? This is tragic. Somebody needs to fix that right now. Who made that tier list? I don't even remember. Alright, time to put away Sexy Party Solair, unfortunately. Back to actual Solair. Alright, have a good day, Paul. Enjoy your last day at school. And thank you for joining the stream while you could. Oh my god! I was not looking at the screen for that. That was a mistake. Let me look at the screen a little bit more. Skibbity Tree, that boss is good. I like that boss quite a bit. Again, I started hating it, but once I understood how to dodge the second and third phase attacks, got a lot less bad. But learning to dodge the AoEs and stuff was so frustrating at first. No, please. Yeah, I probably missed multiple fragments from just random enemies that I happened to not kill. But they tend to be dropped from, like, mini-boss style enemies. Like Black Knights or whatever. So, yeah, it does very much encourage doing everything rather than just, like, sprinting to the end of dungeons for the rewards and that's it. Have a good night, Brenda. Thank you for joining while you could. I hope you enjoyed the stream. The damage isn't that bad. The biggest problem I had with the dragon was it was basically, God, what's his name? What's the Placidus Hex? It's Placidus Hex's nuke, but with no tell. Like, it doesn't do the tinnitus before, and you just get struck and die. I don't think it's too much of a spoiler to say who drops the most. I know, like, hippos do. God, the hippos were so awful. I hated the hippos. Can you sprint through this with mid-roll, or... Okay. A lot of the straight swords in Dark Souls 1 are pretty good. It's just the ones that I've been using on stream have been bad. And I've only been using them on stream because nobody uses them because they're bad. Like a Stora straight sword. Or, you know, in this case, Sunlight straight sword. Though I guess this is more because Solair is gay. And that's because... Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Sunlight straight sword would be really, really good if you put a buff on it. Yeah, longsword is pretty good too. I like the broadsword. The weapons are definitely usable. Hippos and random shades with pots? Oh, right. I forgot about those things. I remember I killed the first one that I saw and got a fragment, and then killed the next one that I saw and completely forgot that the previous one dropped a fragment, so I just kind of stopped killing them. Broadsword is too short. Store is great gay sword. That's so real. Oh my god. Why haven't I been calling it that my entire life? I did not get the bonfire. It's probably fine. Oh, excuse me. It should be fine. It's just Iron Golem. It's not like I've ever died to Iron Golem on stream before. That'd be crazy. A boss rush? I wouldn't necessarily want just a boss rush, but like, if it was like Sekiro where you could rematch any boss you wanted to, that would be really nice. I wouldn't want a boss rush just because I don't like most of the bosses in the game. I think that the Astar's Gay Sword should abbreviate to S, regardless of the actual abbreviation. Just for brevity. Okay, 2 more of those. Oh god, I didn't think I would roll that far. Elden Ring roll goes no distance at all. Or at least mid-roll goes no distance. And it throws me off so much every time. I always expect it to go way farther than it does. Oh god, no please. No. I don't want to die. Yeah, I would love a Sekiro style, like, boss rematch system in Elden Ring. It would work so well. Okay. Okay, now I can throw Lightning Spear at you. Right in the crotch. This is something Solair would do. I don't know if Iron Golem is weak to lightning, but it does decent damage at least. Okay, I almost got grabbed. I don't know how actually close that was to being grabbed, but in my soul, I knew that was close. I need to be more careful, I think. So I don't die to the Iron Golem and have to run all the way through Sens again. Because of pure hubris. No! No, please. No. What the? Okay, that's a first. What's with the weird Iron Golem glitches happening in the streams recently? I'm gonna go get the bonfire now. And no, please. Everything's fine. I've been thrown off the edge before, but it's killed me every time it's happened. Like, I've known that he can just throw you out of bounds sometimes, but that's never happened to me before. Regular Iron Golem? True. Floating Iron Golem was pretty awesome. I think there is a Death Collider there. The Iron Golem can just kind of throw you through it. Because I have definitely died getting thrown off the edge before. There's no crab helmet? That's tragic. I mean, at least the Five Nights at Freddy's helmet is there. It's better than nothing. The Freddy Fazbear helmet. Too bad it's a... Oh, excuse me. Too bad it's a debuff, though. I think it gives you 4 levels in Strength and Dex, right? But it makes you heal less. I just want to look silly. Why do I have to have a whole debuff on top of it? Yeah, it would make sense as both a missing death kill box or whatever, or just going through it for no reason. I only make the Five Nights at Freddy's joke because I've been watching Small play through the DLC, and he was calling it the Five Nights at Freddy's helmet. I need to get you away from the fire. I imagine someone's gonna do a Freddy Fazbear cosplay. What would be a good weapon to do a Freddy Fazbear cosplay with? Okay, stop. Nice. This might knock him off the edge. Please. Oh god, not me. There we go. Yeah, I feel like claws would make sense. Beast claws. Oops. Prattling pate lamentation item for the jump scare noise. That's perfect. Just bare fists getting beat up by Freddy Fazbear. Imagine getting bullied by a Freddy Fazbear. That would be funny. Getting kicked off a cliff by Freddy Fazbear. And of course, the time that I actually didn't need to play well, I got hit once, I think. I healed once, at least. But when I actually need to play well, I don't. Right, give me some strength, some vitality. Perfect. Just bear paws? Where do you get those? I might have picked them up, actually. Is it from a boss, or is it just like a random pickup? Because if it's from a boss, then I've either... There are two bosses it could be from, I think. Freddy Fazbear fists only drip attacks. Jump scares. I think the biggest problem with the crazy weapon variety in Elden Ring is the fact that most of them just aren't that good. And Orlando Firekeeper is ace. I get it. I disagree with the headcanon, but I get it. Right, I don't know if lightning is the play here, especially since this one spews lightning. Unless it has the exact same resistance as the boss, and it's still weak to lightning despite spewing lightning. I should have dodged, I think. Or at least used the shield. I'm not used to using shields. I should be, but I'm just not. I mean, if you tell me it's from a boss, then there are like 2 bosses in the whole DLC that it could possibly be from. And I've already fought one of them, and I don't think I have it, so... I don't disagree because I want to date the Firekeeper. I disagree because the Firekeeper is totally into Gwendolyn. This is just lore. Look, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of Dark Souls characters I'm into, but unfortunately that Firekeeper is not one. Yeah, exactly, and you can date ace people. I know, at least I know of, even an aromantic person who's in a relationship. Aromantic, not ace. Or asexual. But still, she's into Gwendolyn, like... Which just confirms Gwendolyn being trans hat, so it works out. Makes sense, right? Do you think they get freaky? Okay, I'm not going to stop that one. I know we've talked about it before, but that one's a little bit too precise, I think. Grace name should be fine now. Unless it's something... Oh, no! Oh. Unless it's something like, you know, giving that area name. But there are Grace names that don't spoil the whole area name, though. I'm gonna go ahead and heal a little bit. There we go. I don't like snakes, but when they're attached to not snake things, or if they're not in a snake way, I like them. Like, I like Raya, despite, you know, being a snake person. Despite not liking snakes, for instance. Yeah, so there are exceptions. Oh. Are you kidding me? That missed. Ugh. You love ONS when you don't have to fight them. That's... Why did you turn around 180 degrees? Specifically for the tail to hit you. That's so messed up. Okay. Come on, Solair. Get your head in the game. Why? Just let me heal, please. Thank you. Let me pretend I'm not bad at the video game. Okay, don't jump, please. Nice. That did so little damage. So much less damage than I was expecting, at least. Ugh, playing this game with mid-roll is so weird. I don't like it. I will summon Solair for ONS. I've been summoning Solair for every fight he's available for. I just haven't done ONS, Gwyn, or Centipede Demon yet. God, mid-roll throws me off so much. Especially when they're jumping around all over the place. I would make the Game Grumps joke, but I'm attempting to not cuss too much. With the Gugs. Is that Guts Ultra Greatsword? Or just Ultra Greatsword, yeah. I tried that multiple times, and it always just didn't work for me. Because enemies attack way too fast, and are just way too aggressive for them to be viable a lot of the time for my playstyle. It's not even that mid-rolling is bad. It's that I'm not used to mid-rolling at all. Eventually, I will do a Gargoyle-themed playthrough, because I want to do playthroughs with all the boss weapons. But I've already done Gargoyle Halberd, so I'd want to focus more on the axe, I think. What's the earliest Ultra Greatsword in Dark Souls 3? That's a good question. I know the the Greatsword, the Guts Ultra Greatsword is in Farron Keep, which is pretty early on. Yeah. I've also used the tail axe, or I haven't used the tail axe specifically, but I have had the tail axe on me in that Scythe playthrough for good resistance. Gugs is in Farron, yeah. I'm not sure if there's an earlier Ultra Greatsword you can get, though. And, you know, I usually play with Greatswords if I'm using a slow weapon. And then, hey, Solair, how's it going? And then, Claymore is peak, so. You can riposte in Dark Souls 2. You parry, they fall over, and then you press the attack button, and you riposte, just like Dark Souls 1. Except you have more time to react. I need him to flirt with me. And then we'll make up. There it is. Yeah. He engages in self-cest. He's gay. Absolutely. It all makes sense now. Yeah, just I mean, I've been doing that playthrough with the Claymore in Dark Souls 3 that I've been doing for the videos. The next part, I don't know if I'm going to upload it this week. I think I'm going to try to edit this stream this week. If I don't get that finished, that'll go up instead. But if not this week, then next week. Oh, I needed to summon Solair, I forgot. So within the next 4 weeks, because my plan right now is to get this stream edited and uploaded for this Sunday. And then next Sunday will be the second part of the Dark Souls 3 playthrough. And then I want to do a Blade and Sorcery video that I've been working on for the Sunday after that. And then the next Sunday will be the DLC for the Dark Souls 3 playthrough. Soul Cest. I suck at pairing the spear ones specifically, of course. This is absolutely self-cest. Solair was flirting with himself. How is that not self-cest? The problem with riposting being instant is it makes it significantly more difficult to riposte if you're doing like a two-handed weapon or whatever. Suncest. FromSoft delete. I got this. Words are hard. Leave me alone. FromSoft elitism. Whoa, I'm alive? It does suck. I remember Asmongold being awful when he first played Elden Ring, and then he quit the DLC because it was too hard or whatever. It's really funny. I do not like Asmongold. Well, because in Dark Souls 1, if you want to riposte with two hands, it's very precise timing and spacing. You need to parry and then two-hand and then reposition and then attack, and it's extremely difficult to do in time. Because I also usually use two-handed weapons. Asmongold is funny. And a terrible person. I've also seen a lot of people, like, not even intentionally, they'll just say, like, or somebody will say that they don't like something in one of the games. Or in Shadow of the Erdtree specifically, I guess is what we're talking about. And then someone will respond like, oh, it's not that hard. Like, yeah, but who cares? It's not about it being hard. It's about it being not fun. And that's not even like necessarily a thing that people do on purpose. I've seen people completely well-meaning, like, oh, well, it's easy if you just do this. And it's like, yeah, I know it's easy, but it's just not fun. So there are a lot of big streamers who are pretty terrible, yeah. The way the game is hard is also a lot of the problem that people had with base Elden Ring, including myself, because the difficulty comes from the aggression and speed most of the time, which wasn't the case in the other Soul games. Kind of Dark Souls 3, but not so much. So I don't know. Critical is doing a fist only run. That's funny. Yeah, I don't know. Like, even someone like Moist Critical, who hasn't had any big controversies that I know of, his takes on art are so terrible. Does this 4 times? Yeah, okay. What the? I forgot they had that attack. Everything's fine. Yeah, Mesmer second phase. The second phase I feel like is easier than the first, but it's so much harder to read for me. So, I don't know. Black Eye Orb Quivering. No, that's not the only thing Solair feels quivering. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Was that too far? Oh, God. Everything's fine. I should upgrade the shield. And the armor, huh? That would make sense, I feel like. Okay, stop, please. Okay, the second one is backing up. I don't think it can come all the way over here. I changed my mind. It can definitely come all the way over here. And it's going to heal if I don't stay aggressive, but I can't be aggressive because there are 2 of them. OW2? Oh, Overwatch 2. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Not far enough. Yeah, I agree, actually. I changed my mind. I'm just going to summon and run into the fight. Solair usually dies to these guys. He sucks at fighting them. What? Everything's fine. All right, Solair, come on. Let's go. I'm just going to run into the fight and pray that he makes it. Well. Okay, maybe I should help him. Oh my God. Oh, let's go. Yes. No, Solair, come on. Come on. Solair, come on. Solair, no, please. Oh my God. Can you save good to get him back? All right. Expecting. I need to not try to muscle memory that attack. I also need Solair to get in here. Was that Solair? I think that was Solair. No, wait. I didn't think I had this equipped. I'm not going to reset as Solair does in the boss fight. There's literally no reason to do that. I need to be human again. Alright, I'll summon Solair. And then You'll help me take out the giants, and then we'll go from there. Alright. Now, if I actually remember which weapon I have equipped this time. I don't think I'm going to do the DLC, because I just want to do Solair's quest. That's kind of it right now for the stream. I don't think you can bring Solair back to the bonfire. But I've never tried it. What do you hate? This part of the game or this stream? It is not... I didn't stream on Wednesday because I had a repetitive strain injury, so... Unfortunately, I was not capable of streaming yesterday. Ornstein is in Dark Souls 2, though. What do you mean? The Dragon Slayer armor. There's as much Ornstein as Dark Souls 3 Dragon Slayer as Ornstein. Actually, more so, even, because Ornstein's actual set appears in Dark Souls 3, I think. And not just the Dragon Slayer armor. Oh, wait. This one aggro's before that one. I could have just... Okay, well. Oh, you can't actually get the armor into it. That's weird. Solair. Come on. Okay, have fun. I'll fight this one. You play as Ornstein in Dark Souls 2? Is that the lore? Is that the deepest lore that I've been missing this whole time? Okay, come on. Oh, God. I don't remember if that's Force or Wrath of the Gods. I think that's Wrath of the Gods. I do so little damage. This is awesome. Huh? Shield, dead zone. What? Solair, no! What are you doing? Okay, this is fine. I meant to press the roll button. This is fine. Everything's fine. No, Solair, fight the other one! Okay, that's fine. There we go. One down. It's actually Soul Spear. On prawns? Why do you need prawns? Why are you getting so many prawns, I guess? Yeah, their heal is probably the most annoying thing. I was trying to kill them in the literally nothing run, so I could safely summon Solair, but it didn't work. That must be a tiny chunk. Okay, and now I have to force quit. Then we can resummon Solair. What if Solair wants to get Dom, though? I'm not going to stop him from achieving his dreams. That's rude. You know, okay, I just saw, Krista, I just saw that you said can't wait for Sekiro 2 Electric Boogaloo. The worst part is, if there was a Sekiro 2, it would probably focus on the electric thing that, what is it called? I don't even remember what it's called. But the thing that gives Genichiro his lightning powers or whatever. So it would be Electric Boogaloo. I remember people saying that they thought there would be a DLC for Sekiro that would focus on that. Yeah, Tomoe. I feel like I should remember these things. I've spent a lot of time playing Sekiro. Come on, Solair. You don't need to serpentine. There's no one attacking you. I promise. I'm going to put humanity on my hotbar. I feel like I should try to focus on Ornstein because... Oh god, Solair is not good at fighting Ornstein just because he uses Lightning Spear. But, I really just... Oh my god. Okay, I changed my mind. Solair is cracked sometimes. When he's not using a Lightning Spear anyway. I guess he's not any better at fighting Smough. Jesus. Solair did damage. Okay, this is cool. I'm totally okay with letting him take out Ornstein. Nice! Wow, that's crazy. I've never seen him do that much damage. Jesus. Okay. Solair is the dom in this relationship, I guess. Okay, hopefully. He's probably going to die to the butt slams, to be honest. But hopefully I can prevent that from happening. I will try. I don't know. What is the Phantom stats? Like, when you summon Solair, what are his stats? Because I only have 20 strength and like 14 dex or something. 13, 14 dex. And then a plus 10 weapon, so. There we go. Wow, I am so surprised Solair actually survived through that whole thing. Good job. That was an extremely easy Ornstein and Smough fight. Solair x Ornstein. I think it's Solair x Ornstein, actually. Solair really did carry that time. It's the first time he's ever done that good in that fight. He was just so empowered because he's finally embraced his bisexual identity. Give me damage and... Actually, strength is probably more important, up to like 27, huh? Does the random kitty in your garage have, like, a collar at all? Because if not, and you want an 11th cat, don't see why not. I mean, I know the fight is easy with Solair. It's also easy on your own. I've just never seen him do that well. Pillow biter Solair. So true. Cats are better than people sometimes. I know a few people who are better than cats. Not very many, granted, but I do know of some. Okay, I don't think Solair would kindle the fire, to be honest. Solair would probably help Anastasia, but that's too much effort. The cosplay can only go so far. I fought Ornstein and Smough probably more than most other bosses in this game. Because they were the only boss that I really struggled on for a long time when I first started playing the game. Yeah, exactly. My partners are all significantly better than cats in my opinion. So, you know. But like my first playthrough, I think I died most on Ornstein and Smough. And it was like 7 or 8 deaths or something. It wasn't like that many, but it was the most of any boss in the game. And then in subsequent playthroughs, they took me the longest to learn to like actually get down consistently. And even now I die to them probably most frequently. DRG? What is DRG? I'm sorry you have that experience with cats. Usually cats are pretty cool most of the time. I think I have the stats to use the compound bow. I don't know if I have the stats to actually beat or kill Ingward from range with only 16 arrows. Oh, Deep Rock Galactic, okay, right. I feel like I should know that. A lot of my friends play Deep Rock Galactic. I almost beat Ornstein and Smough first try in my first playthrough, but I got to Super Smough, and I got him like probably down to a third of its health, pretty low. And then of course, he just started doing the scoop move, and I had no idea how to deal with it at the time, so I ended up dying. It was so close. I was so upset. Wait. I would probably like Deep Rock Galactic, not Deep Gawk, unfortunately. Sorry, slip of the tongue. We say what we want to say, I suppose. Freudian slip or whatever. Anyway. I probably would like Deep Rock Galactic a lot more if I found it fun, but it's just not my style of game. He did Super Ornstein because he wanted the armor, but no other boss in the game gives you its armor for killing it? So why did he think he would get the armor if he killed Super Ornstein specifically? Is that what this sequel is called? Hopefully. I also like Deep Rock, yes. I would hope most people here would. Or like, at least I assume most people here would, all things considered. Okay, once again, the cosplay only goes so far. I know Solair doesn't use a bow, but it's fine. You do need to kill him second to get the armor? I had no idea. That sucks. Okay, come on. And aggro. And aggro. And... come on. Aggro. Okay, good. Let's see. This should kill him. If I run out of arrows, I will attempt to freehand lightning spear, but I know that won't go well. Just because I'm very bad at aiming. From experience. Okay, cool. Oh god, I forgot you can dodge with the bow. Cool. Nice and easy. Yeah, I know you can buy boss armor from Domhnall after you beat the boss, but I had no idea that you specifically had to beat Super Ornstein to do that. Or to get Ornstein's armor specifically. How far does Lightning Spear go? I will test that in just a moment. I don't think it's that short of a range, but I don't think it's that far either. I'm just trying to get the ghosts off of me so they don't randomly attack me while I'm seeing how far this goes. I know you can just drop down, but I don't want to take fall damage right now. I think Elden Ring did really good with the bows, especially with like the jump shooting and stuff. But Dark Souls 2 does them kind of well too. I don't know. I think it just kind of fumbles in Dark Souls 1 and 3. Because like in Bloodborne, you also have things like the cannon or whatever. Or the flame sprayer. So like Bloodborne has some good ranged representation. Elden Ring makes them fun. Dark Souls 2 gives them a lot of utility. Demon Souls, I would argue, also gives them pretty good utility, though the damage is questionable. And then Dark Souls 1 and 3 kind of so-so on the ranged options. But then, you know, for Dark Souls 1, we have remass test, so it's fine. We gotta roll actual guns. Bows are really, really good for kiting. Especially if you're not comfortable taking on groups. Bows are extremely useful. But, you know, they're fun for cheese, too. Like, you can cheese Sif. Okay, I'm going to bone. And I'm going to upgrade my armor and shield as well. Once I get to... God, why am I just failing words right now? Andre, Jesus Christ. People also said Andre was gay, I think. But unfortunately, I don't think I agree with that assessment. He feels like the grandpa. I'd be like, well, I don't understand, but you can be however you want to be as long as it makes you happy, you know? That's the kind of vibe I get from him. Okay, I'm gonna get souls so I can buy stuff. Yeah, I do wish they were better, but I think they're fun in Elden Ring, and that's kind of all they really want. I did the dancer cheese one time. It was so not worth it. It's so not worth it. Okay, modify. Gonna get this to +10 first, or 15. I don't have a slab. I need to... I don't want to go kill a stray demon. That's a lot of effort. Okay, and purchase. What do I need? Like, I know I need 10 for the shield. How much do you need for, like, individual pieces of armor? Is it just 3? Do you need chunks for armor? I don't remember. Is it just 10 shards and then 10 large shards? Close enough. I guess I'll figure it out in a second. Make the shield half decent to use. What if I assume Estus tastes like fire. Considering it's fire. But would it be, like, painful? I don't think it would be painful, right? I think it would just be, like, a nice warm... I suppose that also could potentially be a possibility. Alright, let's see. How much do we need? Okay, yeah. So it's 4, I think, per armor piece. And then not worth using. Oh, it's 6. Okay, so I need 3 plus 12. I need 15 more. 13 more. Which I should have enough for. And this will make the armor unnecessarily good. Upgraded armor in Dark Souls 1. I never do it. Because it doesn't feel like the game is balanced around it. But it is really funny how good upgraded armor can be in this game. This will be done eventually. A lot of buttons to press. We'll really be able to test how much the damage absorption is on the 4 kings, I suppose. Though I don't imagine I'll be poise tanking them. This will make Nito significantly easier, though. Alrighty. Should I get Havels so I can fast roll? I don't know if that would make sense. Would that be too far for the cosplay? Yeah, I upgraded the brass armor a little bit in my first playthrough, and that was it. I should have warped. I know what I'm doing. I swear. I've played Dark Souls 1 before. I promise. Bloodborne is really good. Highly recommend playing Bloodborne if you like the other games. You didn't upgrade your weapons? The game is extremely difficult if you don't upgrade your weapons because of how low the damage is. I would be impressed if you beat your first playthrough without ever upgrading a weapon. "99 Endurance, Ninja Flip, Havel, Pyromancer." But DS1 was balanced around, huh? I don't think that's quite true. Dragon Ball Z training rates? That's a good point. Mid-rolling is basically just Dragon Ball Z training weights. It'll make me do better. I need to kill Sif. I always forget Sif. Why do I always forget Sif? I mean, Elden Ring does kind of have a reset button. You can, just quit out of the game and then load back in, and you'll be outside the fog door. Alright. I don't want to fight you. It's not worth it. Should I go save Solair first? Does that make sense? Or should I... No, I want to get Koth. Because I think that's what Solair would do. Dark Road isn't that bad. If I remember correctly, you're the person who says you don't like how Dark Root looks, right? It's like, you think it's boring or whatever. This is one of my favorite looking areas in the game, just because it feels so much like an actual forest. I don't know, I love it. Like, it's muddy and green, but that's also what forests are. So I think it works. What do you mean if the load times are faster? Quitting and reloading is faster than dying. At least, it was always for me, even on hard drives. It is definitely not all dark green. There's literally gray right here, with green on it, sure. But my strength was like 70 something. I went through New Game Plus and maybe New Game Plus 2. I don't think I ever leveled resistance. I didn't fall into that trap, but my health is like level 80 or something. My dexterity is really low, like level 15 or something. And I was using Claymore, which is a quality scaling weapon. So like, being able to respec infinitely in Elden Ring would be so nice. It's really annoying that you can't. I think that Darkroot looks really, really good just because even if it doesn't look actually like a real forest, it evokes the vibe, of a forest super well. And I think that's much, much better. Especially, having grown up in forests my entire life. Or at least most of my life. You fat rolled without realizing fat rolling was a thing. I don't understand that. I know a lot of people who didn't realize like they were mid rolling or fat rolling. I'm like, if you take off some of that armor, it'll be a lot easier to play the game. And then then they just like won't notice a difference. And I don't understand that because it's such a dramatic difference to me. I like the Forest of Fallen Giants too, but I definitely prefer Darkroot in terms of being more forest-like. Wow, okay. Definitely 2-hand for damage. That's like double damage, jeez. From both strength scaling and motion values, that's like a huge jump. Ouch. Wait. Well, yeah, but all but one character start with fast rolling, right? So the moment that you put on armor, you'll, like, at least for me, the moment that I put on any armor at all, I noticed it was dramatically slower and way harder to dodge anything. So, all right, good luck, Finn. Please don't hurt me. I just need your ring. If you would just give me the ring, it wouldn't matter. I wouldn't have to do that. You did this to yourself. Does Solair wear any rings? I don't think so, right? I will, however, be wearing that one for later. Okay. And then I'll wear the Abyss ring for like half the rest of the playthrough. And people are going to be like, oh, why did you wear that ring the whole time? Because I don't have anything else. I want to turn this one into a video. Just because Pride Month and gay and it's funny, but I don't know. We'll see. Orange charting? Yeah, that's true. Good point. He probably actually does, huh? Does he? If he kicks you, do you get the orange charting effect? The fire effect? You never took off the knight armor specifically, so you always just mid-rolled? What do you mean evilness killed Solair? Solair is very much still alive. You really think I would kill Solair in the stream highlighting him? I just cheated in the armor. I want to do his quest too, just because it makes sense too. So I've summoned him for everything. I mean, I know you don't need to for his quest, but I've summoned him for the 3 bosses that I got so far. And will for Centipede Demon and Gwyn as well. I don't like that I have to kill Centipede. If I was just doing this for Solair's quest to summon him at Gwyn, I would just do Demon Fire Sage and then use the 30 humanity. I want to do a playthrough of Dark Souls 2 where I use the Mastodon Spear because it's like the highest DPS, or like generally the highest DPS weapon in the game. I think that'd be fun to do. Like highest possible damage or DPS in Dark Souls 2 video like I did with Dark Souls 1. Wait, please don't. But I don't know how well that'll go because I don't know Dark Souls 2 nearly as well as Dark Souls 1. So Dark Souls 3 is kind of bad after ONS. I forgot to put on the ring. Oh my god. I can't believe I forgot to put on the ring. I was taken by the abyss indeed. He wears all of the rungs? I don't think I get that. Lost comic. Is this lost? Is that the comic you were speaking of? Fear of losing, fear of monsters, quaking in your boots. I had that with her 9. Solair intelligence level mistake indeed. He wears all the rings at once. Red Tearstone ring, orange shard ring, hornet ring, goob ring. He wears all of them at once. I think it's 1 vertical, 2 vertical, 2 vertical, and then 1 vertical, 1 horizontal. Oh, I had that with Ocarina of Time. I didn't fight Goma until I was 8 or 9 because I just didn't want to lose. Solair is the goob master. That's probably true. Solair is such a goober. I've never understood the take that Dark Souls 1 gets worse after ONS, because I assume that's what you meant earlier, not Dark Souls 3. Just because, like, the game is still really fun. Wow. Shields are almost good in this game. Come on. No, I failed. But brain, it's somewhere in there. Oh, but like, New Londo is fun. The Four Kings is one of my favorite bosses in this game. And then like Lost Izalith has a really good atmosphere. Tomb of the Giants is a really fun, unique challenge. I don't know. I've never understood the hate for the second half of Dark Souls 1. No, that's so messed up. I'm gonna die. I didn't die. That's crazy. Oh, Dark Souls 3 is mid, and you realize that because of Dark Souls 3. Or because of being honest. Really? I feel it's hard to compare the games. Just because they do such different things, you know? Oh, that sure is technically damage. What's this damage like? Wow. Worse for the speed. That's so awesome. Might have to go power within, or at least RTSR. This is real bad. No, it's just 4 kings. I got this. Stamina. Ouch. See? Okay, yeah. I was able to kill the first one before the second spawned. This will be easy. Like, just barely, but still did it. And I was messing around checking my damage numbers. I was hoping to actually dodge that. Uh-oh. I don't know how to dodge this one with mid-roll. I feel like Dark Souls 1 probably would have been better, but it would have been different in a way that I wouldn't have preferred, probably. Just because I do really like how it exists now, and the experience would be different if it was changed. Having already played Dark Souls 1 as it is, rather. Okay, you just rolled that side. I think if I were to play Dark Souls 1 as it was intended, like if they had more time to work on it, I would like it less, just because I'm already have Dark Souls as is, and I've played Dark Souls as is, you know? I don't know if that makes sense at all. Ouch. Okay, I can't poise tank 4 kings, which I'm kind of surprised about, because they don't do that much poise damage. I was expecting Solair's armor to give me more poise, but evidently not. Ouch. Normally, or I remember 4 kings being much harder if you don't kill them by the time the next one spawns, but I guess they're pretty passive when you're not focusing on one. I know they can attack you, but it's pretty infrequent, huh? Here we go. I remember it being far less infrequent from last time I played. Oh. Almost got hit by that. That would have been embarrassing. Right. Everything's fine. It's just 4 kings. No big deal. Not really a DPS check. I mean, it's easier if you have good DPS, but it's less of a DPS check than most people. Okay. Let's see. Strength. And then dexterity. Seath, walk back, and fight sucked. The fight isn't bad. I don't know. It's easy, but it's not bad by any means for me. But the walk back, I don't know. It's kind of long, I guess. But I don't know. The boss being easy kind of makes up for that. It's kind of like how Demon Souls, like each level was an entire run back to the boss, and the boss was just part of the level, you know? So you're not expected to have any opinions on the run back or on the boss separate from the run back. And the bosses were like designed and balanced around the level itself, if that makes sense. Okay, Lost Izalith. What do you mean boring strength build? There's no boring strength build. It's fun. What do you mean it's not really even a boss fight? You are smacking a giant dragon with a sword. That is objectively a boss fight. It's awesome. If Seath was actually cool, it would be awesome anyway. The don't touch my tail kids on Roblox? What does that mean? He does do things. He can explode into a massive crystals, or he explodes the ground into a massive crystals anyway. He shoots lasers at you, like massive lasers all over the place that also spawn crystals that curse you. He does things. It's just easy to respond to. And like I said, the boss is kind of balanced around the run back being so long. First tried Fire Giant. I did not. Mostly because I had like a plus 12 Claymore at that point. I had a really low level Claymore. When I first got there, it was awful. Don't hurt me, please. White Dragon. White Dragon Breath. You mean Crystal Dragon Breath? Question mark? If they had gotten rid of the frog enemy? The frog race? Huh? If you mean the sorcery that like spews crystals all over the ground, then yeah, that's Crystal Magic Breath. Or Crystal Dragon Breath or whatever. Yu-Gi-Oh! I feel like I wish they would have added a lot more larval tiers in Shadow of the Erdtree. I don't know how many I got, if any at all, to be honest. It would be cool if there was a way to get infinite larval tiers from Shadow of the Erdtree at least. Or at least some way to get like the confined from an enemy or something. I have a question. Why does using a broken build make you feel gross? Or at least Moonveil make you feel gross? That doesn't make sense to me. You can only find the larval tears at nighttime. Yeah, okay, I definitely didn't find any then. Dark Souls 3 DLCs? Actually, well, I haven't really played them in a way that I think would be conducive to me enjoying them, so I'm going to refrain from commenting on them. But Dark Souls 1 DLC is my favorite DLC by far that I've played so far. Dark Souls 2 DLCs are mostly bad, but Shulva's really good. I really like Shulva. Can I mid-roll? Or, I mean, meme roll? I cannot. I was hoping I had enough stamina or endurance to meme roll, but unfortunately that is not the case. I don't even know if you can not take fall damage. Oh my god. If you meme roll from there. Meme roll seems difficult to use and pretty precise. Stop it. Oh, okay. Poise makes these things not a threat, at least. I keep trying to jump attack, and I'm just failing miserably. Stop it. Stop jumping. Jeez. So rude. Okay. There we go. Oy. There we go. Nice and easy. But if you're not having fun with a quote-unquote fun build, then is it a fun build? You know? That doesn't really make sense to me. Because if you're using a build that you think is cool, and then it sucks, and you're not having fun with it, then isn't that just not a fun build? Elden Ring's Y-hander has bad hitboxes? Question mark? I haven't used this Y-hander in a long time in Dark Souls 1, so I couldn't tell you agree or disagree. And I've never used it in Elden Ring, sorry. So, I have no idea. Yes, as in the Elden Ring one. I feel like too many people complain about Dark Souls 2 hitboxes as if they're the only bad hitboxes in the series. Because in my experience, I know this is a disconnected conversation, but it got me thinking about it. In my experience, especially recently, Dark Souls 3 has a lot of really bad hitboxes too. And then Elden Ring, you know, has like garbage fire hitboxes and stuff. So it's not like the other games are immune from it. And then Dark Souls 1 has like Centipede Demon. There's Y's in Settlement. I forgot about that. What Dark Souls 3 hitboxes are bad? I mean, there's a lot of Pontiff hitboxes that are terrible. My favorite example is the Drake mini boss. Not the Wyvern, not the Wyvern like boss fight mini boss. That's basically mini boss, but like the actual Wyvern, Drake, whatever mini boss that you find with the other stone lizards. Its hitboxes are atrocious, like some of the worst in the entire series. Probably as bad as Centipede Demons. Probably worse than Centipede Demons because more of the hitboxes are bad than just like the stompies. Awful hitboxes. And then there's like, I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I know for sure that there are others. Not all of Centipede Demon's hitboxes are bad, but when it does the stomp hitbox or stomp attack, where it like steps a bunch, his entire body becomes a hitbox. So much as scrapes you, you're taking damage. It's so annoying. Bloodhound Blade? Wait. Oh, blind spot. Is that the one where you like do the flip and then dash backward and then you can use the strong attack to dash forward again? That's one of my favorite Ashes of War in the game. I found 2 backhand blades. I think it was the one that Smough used. I don't remember what it was called. Not Smough. Aggie. The one that Aggie used. And then the like kind of ring blade looking things that the weird buff enemies use. The hunched over Capra Demon enemies. Okay. Not terrible damage. This won't be too long of a fight, hopefully. Okay. Just use melee, got it. I want to see someone do Elden Ring perfumer bottles only. Like the new DLC ones. Like I know you could use the consumable in the base game, but getting the ones in the DLC would be cool, I think. Watching someone do a whole playthrough with that. I know they're not great and they're mostly like an offhand thing for elemental damage, but it'd be cool to use specifically them only. Not true. Do they have good damage? Like I was watching Aggie use them and they head stats for them and stuff. 2-shot bosses with perfume bottles? How? The fire ones scale at dex, right? And I had pretty good dex and maxed them out because I thought they would be fun to use, but then the damage was just awful. But I guess I must have been using them wrong. I don't know. It also feels like a crowd control weapon, like specifically elemental damage, and then like a little bit of crowd control. Oh, wrong way. Okay. And I need to level up with the Daughters of Chaos, which I will do after I beat Centipede Demon real quick. Oh wait, I need to go back up in humanity anyway, so. Oh, they can hit multiple times? Oh yeah, that makes sense, because they do like the whole like fan out thing, right? Makes sense that there would be multiple hitboxes involved in that. My eye itches. I think there's hair going in my eye. This is a bad time. I guess it could be worse. It could have been in the middle of the boss fight. I think it would still be fun to see someone do that. An entire playthrough with them only. Regardless of how powerful they are. I mean, it's not like I only do playthroughs with bad weapons. Using very strong weapons can be fun a lot of the time, especially if you have to build them specifically to make them good. Alright, humanity. Oops. Use. Perfect. New starting classes? That would have been really nice, yeah. I agree. Just for some, like, DLC weapons without having to get to the very end of the game. Or, you know, like halfway through the game to use them, so you can't use them on a lot of the bosses. I guess, I don't know, there are only a few bosses you need to beat to get into the DLC, but at the point that you're strong enough to be able to beat them, you know what I mean? Okay. There we go. Yeah, having to specifically get someone to give them to you is annoying. Okay. Reverse hollowing. Kanto from Gold and Silver? What do you mean? That's not like you go back to Lordran. That would have been so awesome. If they just put all of Lordran in Elden Ring, but like reformatted to be open world, that would be really funny. Artorias of the Abyss is the best FromSoft DLC. I see where you're coming from. No, I think I agree. I was going to say I don't think I agree, but I think I do. Just because, like, Calamite and Sanctuary Guardian are a couple of my favorite bosses in the entire series. I'm going to do this first. And then the DLC itself, like the areas are pretty good. And they're fun to explore and all that. So, yeah, I agree. Easily using, like, bleed builds, especially since Smough is weak to bleed. But is Smough weak to bleed? I remember hearing that, but don't take my word for it. Because like you could probably cheese them, but like again, at the point that you're powerful enough to be able to do that, or good enough at the game, using the DLC weapons is kind of, I don't know, on the remaining bosses is kind of a moot point, especially since some of the DLC fights are harder than early game, or than like late game base game bosses. Like beating the castle boss, again saying that for lack of spoilers, would be probably a lot harder, at least for me, than Radon or Moog at a low level. Though with how crazy some people are, not sure if he's weak, yeah. I think it makes sense that he's weak to bleed in the same way that Gwyn is weak to fire. I wish you didn't have to get someone to bring you new weapons. I wish you could just like transfer them between saves somehow. That would be really cool. That would like completely remove all the complaints of having cool late game weapons. I have all of them but the 4 kings left. I've only beaten the Four Kings because Solair is slow. Only mid-rolling is... I'm also not playing particularly well today. I haven't played Dark Souls 1 in a while, and I've been used to Elden Ring and Dark Souls 3. So my play ability is also probably significantly lessened from that. We've actually come back up a little bit, unfortunately. So we're not at the level of de-evolution that we were when you left, I think. However, we could definitely talk about the Centipede with Solair. I don't know, I'm sure there's something there. Oh my god, speaking of centipedes, god, that... No spoilers, never mind. There is a centipede boss in the DLC of Elden Ring, and god, I don't know what it is. I usually hate bug type like driders and stuff, but something about that one specifically. So there, you have ranged weapons, use them. Solair, why did it untarget? This is... Why did it go for Solair? What? Why is it going for me now? Oh, okay, that was Solair's fault. Oh, don't go in the lava. Come on. This is great. Anyway, I don't usually like Drider types, but for some reason, that specific boss... Something about it. Could not tell you what. Oh my god, Solair. This is why I was saying there's something there. There's with the Centipede and Solair, but maybe we shouldn't go into it. I don't know. Solair wants to, clearly. Okay. Oy, ouch. Shouldn't have got hit by that. Skill issue on my part. Solair, get out of the lava, please. Oh. Damage. I mean, not good damage, but damage. Oy, I forgot. Can you just die, please? No, don't jump into the lava. Solair, help. Kill it. Close enough. Thanks, Solair. Never mind. Spell aiming in this game sure is. Solair hard carry for sure. There we go. Thank you, Solair. I appreciate you. Going to avoid spoilers. I will not go too much into spoilers, but I like that boss. That's my favorite boss in the entire game, by far. Solair hard? I have two different boots on. That would destroy my sensory issues. Jeez. There you go. That's better. Only one kind of boot on now. I probably shouldn't be skipping his dialogue. He can't find it. But it's fine. He can be his son. It would not surprise me if there was some fanfiction where somebody started flirting with Solair by saying, I can be your son. And then they like do impreg or something. I want to play... I do want to play Elden Ring again. Just because after playing through it again, there are strategies and stuff that I learned and want to try and stuff. So I probably will be playing through Elden Ring again soon-ish. But we'll see how soon that ends up being. I'm glad I'm not the only person who thinks that that's a thing. Or would not be surprised. Oh, excuse me, if that was a thing. I feel like, personally, for me, beating Elden Ring at level 80 wouldn't be very fun. Low-level playthroughs generally aren't that great for me, except for, like, Soul Level 1. Just because it's, like, longer fights and you just kind of have to learn the boss, and that's the thing. But with Elden Ring, for me, that doesn't really work, just because, especially once you get halfway through the game, you're just going to be one-shot the whole time. I don't think that's very fun. But, like, Dark Souls 3... Soul Level 1, I need to finish that. Dark Souls 2, Soul Level 1 as well. I really want to do that, just because I want to see how difficult Soul Level 1 is in Dark Souls 2 with low iframes. I get that, Murder. I had that same experience. But I ended up wanting to play it because a lot of people were talking about the DLC and I wanted to get into it before I got spoiled on it. Alright, and then do I have to beat Bed of Chaos for Solair to be at where I killed the thing, or is he there now? Actually, I have no idea. I didn't have money for it either. That's why I wasn't expecting to play it anytime soon, but two people ended up offering to buy it for me, and then one of them bought it first. What's wrong with the PvP right now? Is it just like annoying weapons and stuff? Hello, G. Welcome to the stream. I don't know. I never liked PvP in any of the games, so. But it wouldn't surprise me if people are just spamming annoying weapon arts and stuff from the DLC. I don't understand how that boss is your favorite. That's probably my least favorite in the entire series. It's up there, for sure. Annoying weapons is definitely a way to put it. Okay. People did vote Solaire as the gayest because he flirts with you regardless of your gender. Hold on. Kirk! Oh, I forgot I'm human. Yo, what up, Kirk? People called you a twink in the comment section of that community post. That is so little damn... Oh, never mind. I forgot I had Hornet Ring. You bonked. There we go. There were multiple people who called Kirk a twink. I think my biggest problem with Elden Ring PvP, because I don't engage with it, right? So it's not something that ever bothers me. But when they make patches specifically based around PvP scaling rather than PvE scaling, I don't like that. R1, R1 true combo? Oh no. The Dragon Tooth in Dark Souls 3 has a true combo, right? I was fighting and I was spamming the roll button the whole time. But I don't know if I'm just like bad at the video game or something. 3 Millennia waterfowls. The weapon that you get from my favorite boss that I mentioned earlier is really cool, but I can't imagine it's good for PvE, at least. I don't know about PvP, because again, I don't engage with PvP at all. But it looks really, really cool, and it should be really, really fun to use if you don't get immediately obliterated as soon as you press the L2 button. But unfortunately, that's kind of my experience with a lot of Ashes of War, is because I don't understand how to use them. Most likely because I don't understand how to use them anyway. Alright. Sexy party Solaire. I need your help. Oh my god, it's so much better. When you're not hollow. Okay, do something, please. Do something, please. There we go. It needs dedicated servers. Yeah. Oh god, I thought I was gonna fall. Okay, Sexy Party Solaire has saved the day. I don't know, I feel like the biggest problem with trying to balance PvP is like crazy weapons like Bolt of Grandsax as opposed to Claymore. Like one of those is going to be better just because of how the weapon works. So I really feel like they shouldn't try too hard to balance the PvP. I don't know. I feel like it doesn't really work. You can't really balance that. Especially since it's not supposed to be balanced, you know? Invaders are supposed to show up and ruin your day, but only if you have friends. Or, you know, specifically want your day ruined. Claymore W! Yeah, exactly. The Claymore is just too powerful to be balanced with other weapons. It doesn't work. Okay, unfortunately I have to put Sexy Party Solaire away. Sexy Party Solaire is canon, however. I just want to make that very clear. I think I'll be beating Gwyn with Sexy Party Solair. Okay, Nito. Why not? And then, obviously, Seath, and then you can go straight to Gwyn. Do I want to fight Seath? Do I want to fight Nito? No. Invaders are Estes Pinatas. I mean, I guess it depends on how good you are at the game. Someone like me who is awful at the video game, very much not. Yeah, I love the Claymore. It was one of the first weapons that I used in Dark Souls 1, after Black Knight Sword. I think in my second playthrough, I used the Claymore all the way through, and I loved it. It was so much fun. And then, of course, Dark Souls 2, I got the Great Sword before I ever found the Claymore, but I did eventually do a Dark Souls 2 Claymore playthrough, and I had a lot of fun with that. Then Dark Souls 3, it's probably my favorite weapon in that game. I wish it was my favorite weapon in Dark Souls 1, but the Scythe is just so much fun, and I could not tell you why. I just love the moveset on the Scythe. One of my favorite things about Blade and Sorcery is the Bardiche is actually good, and that made me so happy. I was so worried, because I don't like the two-handed weapons, or, you know, the heavy weapons in Blade and Sorcery, but I was playing Gravity Mage, so it made it bearable. You get the Claymore in Dark Souls 2 from the head of Vangarl in the Shaded Woods, so if you've gone there, then you might have it. You have to buy it, though. It's not like something you just randomly pick up. Frampt uses Rivers of Blood. Checks out. I agree. Makes sense to me. Okay. Maybe I should... No. I don't need a fast roll. This is fine. Yeah. Runs into the skeletons? What do you mean? Like, runs... Oh, you mean the ones in the hallway, yeah. I just do that subconsciously at this point, to be honest. Yeah, Elden Ring really does not feel like it should be based around PvP. PvP is a thing that is supposed to add spice to your playthrough, is not something that is supposed to be focused on. Not that you can't focus on it, but there's differences in how it will be engaged with if you're actively focusing on it versus how it's intended to be engaged with generally in a casual playthrough. Alright. I don't want to deal with the bone wheels. I would kill him, but it's just not worth it. You have not bought it. I would recommend it if you are looking for a new weapon. Did you end up using the Twin Blade? Elden Ring PvP just isn't worth playing. I 100% agree. Okay. Hopefully, I don't die to Pinwheel of all things. I will if I get greedy, though. Whoa! See? Like that. That's the kind of greed I'm talking about. Oh, okay. Never mind. The best... Well, I mean, in terms of damage per hit, sure. But the Twin Blade also attacks faster, so... It's kind of a playstyle difference, I think. I understand liking... Is this canon? Does this count as canon? I understand liking Dark Souls PvP, but I don't like it at all. Not my thing. I just like playing through the games over and over with different weapons. Excuse me. Drip feed of broken weapons and spells that kept going until a majority of the player base beat the DLC. Is this talking about Elden Ring? Because I'd assume that most people still haven't beat the DLC. Or is this talking about Dark Souls 3? Excuse me. You also don't have the Twin Blade like infused at all, and you're not using magic buffs, right? So like with magic buffs, the Twin Blade would absolutely have much higher DPS than the Bastard Sword. Oops, excuse me. Please don't hurt me. Please don't hurt me. I would assume you would be invaded less in Dark Souls 2 than Dark Souls 3, right? Because you have soul memory as opposed to just levels. Talking about Shadow of the Erdtree, how many? There's only been one update since the DLC, hasn't there? I thought. Because there was the one that the DLC came out with, and then I think there's only been one since then, right? What? Everything's fine. I mean, yeah, you would be invaded a lot in Dark Souls 2, but I assume you would also be invaded a lot in Dark Souls 3, or even more. PvP, specifically. Yeah, 1.12 was a day 1 patch, but you said that it was a drip feed of more broken weapons, implying that more patches have come out that have made more weapons better. Your invasion timer never goes away. Okay, that makes sense. I guess that makes sense. Though, as someone who doesn't care for PvP, personally. Sorry, Leroy. It was not meant to be. Right. I think my favorite PvP experience in any Souls game so far has been in Dark Souls 2. I was invaded on the bridge leading into the Iron Keep, and we had like a proper duel. And it was one of the first times I played the game, and it was such like a small little thing that lasted maybe a couple minutes. And that's just one of the only PvP scenarios that I actually remember. I don't know, it was fun. It's just when it happens at inopportune, annoying times. Oh god. Please no. Everything's fine. Oh, farther into the DLC. I see. Okay, that makes sense. I see what you mean now. The getting emoted on happens a lot. I should probably put this on. Okay. Hopefully, I don't end up dying to Nito, of all things. Can I two-hand with the straight sword and block to dodge the scream? Will this work? I guess it doesn't matter if he never uses it. Stop it. Okay. Ooh, hitbox. Okay, most Dark Souls 1 hitboxes are pretty good. Jeez. In a abusive relationship. Stop it. I mean, even if it did have nothing to do with them, it's still funny, right? And they were there for it. Oh god. Run. And don't activate the big skeletons, please. I mean, yeah, not for you, but you're not the one who emoted. That was the point. Okay. I forget Nito is easy when you actually have boys, so... Excuse me. Please don't do that. Wait. What the hell? Oh, hi. Why are you over here? Oh. Ouchie. I really don't want to get toxic. Maybe I should just poise tank, to be honest. I'm not going to be able to poise tank this, but it doesn't really matter, since I'm going to kill it in one hit anyway. Hiya. There we go. Alt F4 Elden Ring. I do that unnecessarily frequently, I think. Vanilla Furio sounds very good right now. Right, I usually Alt F4 when I get invaded in Dark Souls 1, just because I really don't like Dark Souls 1 PvP. And I never get invaded because I play on a file that's been soft banned. And then, you know, when I do play in a state that I can be invaded, it'll be when I'm trying to play with someone else or whatever, and it's just frustrating to be constantly invaded while I'm just trying to play through the game with someone and have fun. Like, I get why people like PvP, but it's just really not my thing. Have you considered... it kind of depends for me, because sometimes Froyo can be better, but I also like the occasional ice cream as well. Excuse me. Excuse me. There we go. Hopefully, I can first try Seath. Seath is usually pretty easy. Yeah, like, I don't think it's a bad mechanic. I think invasions are a really good, cool, interesting mechanic, but I'm just kind of done with them. I'm over it. Like, again, especially when I'm just trying to play through the game with someone for fun. I asked if you had considered if you were lactose intolerant. Generally, when ice cream hurts your stomach, but Froyo doesn't. My first thought is lactose intolerance. Pardon me. Yeah, really toxic build, that's true. I don't know. If someone is invading in good spirits and it's just like doing it for fun or whatever, it'll be a lot more fun than if someone is like bringing a meta PvP build and invading random players. Yeah, milk making your tummy hurt is also very indicative of lactose intolerance. Another person has learned that they are potentially lactose intolerant in the same stream. Changing lives out here. Well, that's the point of invasions, though, right? You're supposed to gank invaders. Of their inherent advantages is toxic. That's just kind of how you're supposed to play the game. Or at least that's how the game was intended to be played, sorry. I should be more careful with my wordage. Uh-oh. Wait. What am I doing? I don't need to kill this guy. I'm not doing the DLC. Alright, have a good night. Thank you for joining while you could. This stream will be edited into a video. So, hopefully, that will be just as enjoyable as if you were here in real time. Try finger butthole indeed. Right. I would do Seath skip if I knew how. Well, I mean, if you're getting invaded and you're playing with someone and then you intentionally gank the invader, like, again, that's just kind of how you're supposed to play the game. And that's, or how the game was intended to be played. Sorry, once again, maybe more careful. No, invaders aren't inherently toxic. That's not the issue. It's that a lot of people will invade with toxic builds. Like I said, if someone is invading for fun because, and they're using a fun build that they enjoy fighting other people with, then that's a completely different thing than somebody wanting to feel good about themselves and obliterating some random player with some crazy good build. Well, yeah, I know what you're referring to. Someone intentionally creating a squad to gank invaders, but I don't know. That's just something that you should expect as an invader, right? Like, I get that it might not be fun for the invader, but you're also invading someone's world, right? Making their game harder, so. Seath, are you okay? Okay, we're good. He was just sitting there for a while. Right. Bonk. Hopefully, this won't take me too long. Because this is already a very long stream. Almost 3 hours in and haven't even beaten all 4 lords. Come on. No, come back. Oh, well. Well, right, but if you're the one who's invading, I don't know, it's not supposed to be like something that is exclusively fun for you. It's supposed to be something that surprises the other player, right? You should be expecting the other player to have fun and you to indulge in that rather than doing it to have fun yourself. At least that's my mentality. If I were to invade, that would be my mentality on it. I do kind of wish, like, if you can you be invaded in Elden Ring if you use a rune arc? I know you can use like the dried finger or whatever. That's basically Dark Souls 3 Ember. Piss asks. Piss X. I feel like every time I backstab these guys, someone is like, well, you can backstab them. But don't worry, I also did not know that for the longest time. It is kind of obscure. Only Taunter's Tongue. Okay. Yeah, I feel like rune arcs should definitely enable solo invasions, like Dark Souls 3. Oh god. With the boar spear and pretending to be Patches. That's really funny. There are so many like challenge run videos and stuff that I want to do with or in Blade and Sorcery. Like I said, or I don't know if I said this stream, but I'm doing no weapons, no sorcery, and no crystals right now. I picked up a chicken because I thought it would be funny, and then I ended up one-shotting like 3 enemies with the chicken, and it's unironically the strongest weapon I have at my disposal under that rule set, which is really funny. But I'm really enjoying that right now. Stools are a very close second, especially since when you break it, it becomes sharp and you can just stab people and kill them very quickly. Very fun build, or playthrough rather. And then I want to do daggers only. I think that would be fun. Sorcery only would be extremely overpowered and very fun. Spell tools melee only I think would be fun too. So there are a lot of playthroughs that I want to do in Blade and Sorcery, but I can only play it a couple hours a day just because I'm not physically active. So I don't know. I do want to do as many as I can though. I guess I could do like individual dungeon and then like do one high level dungeon and then a Dalgarian ruin kind of thing. Chicken as a weapon? Yeah. You just pick up the chicken and start swinging it around. It's really great. I don't know. From my perspective, like again, you're not there to win. You're not invading to beat people. You're invading to add some spice to their playthrough. So I think wanting to win at all, or I don't know. I enjoy the fact that invaders can be extremely underpowered compared to the host. That just adds to what an invader is being invaded. The infant secondary weapon thing. Oh, right, Warframe. the baby doing electricity damage or whatever. Fire damage? I don't remember. I know it's a goal to kill the host, but it's not. It's the goal to kill the host, but that's not the fun part. That's not why you're doing it in the first place. And if you are, then you're probably going to have a lot less fun with unfair scenarios like that, right? And the players you're fighting will also probably have a lot less fun. At least I would. And hell, blendering an invader can be fun too, right? So, I don't know. If you're having fun at someone else's expense, if you're capable of having fun at someone else's expense, that should just be something that you expect as an invader. I don't know. I don't see any reason to mitigate it at all. Especially since the invader can just leave whenever they want. Alright, hopefully. My first try Seath. Seath is not difficult, so. Wait. There we go. Ouchie. Swag mama. I'm going to request you never say that word in my chat again. Like, I see how it's annoying, for sure. But that's the way the games are set up. And if you want something like, you know, fair PvP, that is something you can set up with specific people, right? You can have fight clubs. That's something the game allows you to do. But if you're invading other people, that's just something you should expect. And if you're wanting to invade random people, you know, that's just kind of part of it. I thank you for agreeing. the hosts, the host and the co-op player ended up hiding. That's funny. Okay. You accidentally got the first. You're the first invaders you got in Dark Souls 2 to half health, and then you got obliterated. Excuse me. Please don't. Okay, we're good. Everything's fine. I'm trying to think. There are instances where I beat invaders fair, but when I'm just doing a casual playthrough, like I'll generally try to honor, like, you know, PvP stuff where you don't heal in the middle of battle or whatever. But if someone breaks that, or if I'm in the middle of a difficult area, or if I don't feel like it right now, I will do everything I can to get rid of them as soon as possible. It would have been cool to beat them. I didn't say that was the exclusive purpose. That's just the main purpose. That's why people invade. That's the entire point of invading. If you want fair PvP, that's a different thing from wanting to invade random people, right? Yeah, I know healing in fights is fine for invasions, but I think it's a lot more fun to have a fair, balanced fight. But it does definitely depend on the scenario. I disagree. I don't think invasions should be balanced at all. Invasions are like, oh, hey, a random stronger enemy. Not like, oh, hey, another person that I want to have a balanced and fair fight with. Because I don't want to have a balanced and fair fight with any invaders ever. That's just not something that I want to do, because that's not why I'm playing the game. I'm playing the PvP aspect, and someone else decided that they wanted to do PvP. And now that's on them. Okay. Alright, Seath. Oh, there's a clam. Darn it. Okay, at least I can stagger them in one hit. Never mind. If I'm ever invaded, I want to get rid of the invader as soon as possible. Because doing a long fight when you're already doing something else is annoying and bad. Especially when you're forced to do it and there's nothing you can do to get out of it. Alright, come on. Do something, please, Seath. I don't want to be here for longer than I have to be. Because, like, again, balanced PvP fighting is a different thing. It's just, like, not what invasions are for. Oh my god. Please don't hurt me. Yeah, honestly, I also think that the summon items should be non-consumable. Them being consumable just adds a lot of tedium if you want to play with friends. Which is exactly what Seamless Co-op did. And it was just way better and more fun. Alright, come on. Thank you. There have been several times that I farmed, like, consumables. Sleep pots for Godskin Duo was one. And, like, just didn't end up using them. Alright, there we go. I can now go fight Gwen. Yeah, exactly. Rune Arcs. I think it would be cool if Rune Arcs opened you to invasions, and also the items to invade people doing co-op and the item to invade people specifically using Rune Arcs were different. And then that would, like, completely solve all the issues, you know? I would have literally no problems with PvP at that point. Or invasions, I mean, at that point. Though being invaded during co-op is annoying, and I wish there was a way to just turn it off other than like doing the private server thing or whatever. It's bullshit and not fun, but then just don't invade. Problem solved. Done. Easy. Alright, sexy party Solair time. Let me think. I don't know if that's true. The boss that I had the biggest, like, oh my god, it's finally over. And then, like, the whole tingles and everything. The only boss I've ever had that with was Melania. Not Melania, sorry. The dancer. Melania was not one of them. I did have that, like, out-of-breath, tingly feeling. But it wasn't because I enjoyed Melania. It's because it was like, oh my god, it's finally over. I don't have to do that anymore. With the dancer, it was like, oh my god, that was awesome. I am so happy that I just beat that because that was a very fun and enjoyable and learnable boss. Yeah, exactly. If you don't like the results of the mechanic, don't use the mechanic. It's unironically that simple. And then you can, you know, if you want to do PvP, that's its own thing. It really is that simple. I should probably kill the Black Knights. There we go. Yeah, I didn't get that feeling with Romina. I said the name. I am so sorry. I didn't get that feeling with my favorite boss in the DLC because I beat her first try and she was easy. But she was a lot of fun. I really, really like that boss. Hopefully names don't bother you. Anyone here? I'm so sorry. I will censor it in the edited version of this stream. And the mechanic is fun if you are okay with being one-shot, because that's part of using the mechanic. Yeah, I mean, there are ways to solve it, but it's in the game the way it is. And like, if you don't like it, don't use it. I don't know. Yeah, it's a risk thing. Absolutely. That's my point. I highly disagree. If you are invading, if you are intentionally making someone else's playthrough harder, it is totally okay for you to just be ganked and obliterated. That is totally okay. That's like part of invading. And it always has been. Like, it's very possible that you just end up in someone's world who is way stronger than you because you can invade up infinitely in the other games, right? I don't know if you can with Soul Memory or in Dark Souls 2, but like Dark Souls 1, you can definitely invade up infinitely. Like, you can just be absolutely obliterated. It is worse in Elden Ring, absolutely. And that's good. It should be worse. It should be worse in Dark Souls 1 and 3 as well. Alright. Here we go. Maybe she is good. I haven't really had the experience of beating Melania in that way, just because I used summons and overpowered spells. Just because I was not having fun doing the fair, balanced fight thing. There we go. What? No, it's not instant win for bosses. It's instant win for invaders. Because they're random. Like, what? That's a complete false equivalence. Alright, Solair. I need to go talk to him. Unless Izalith. That's so cool. Like I said, if you don't like that you can be one-shot while invading, then don't invade. If you don't like a part of the mechanic, don't use the mechanic. Okay. I mean, I beat Melania multiple times, but it was always with summons and powerful spells and stuff. I did it with Wing of Estelle and Tish. I did it with Death's Poker, I think, and Mimic Tear. So, Daughter of Chaos. I do like Radagon. I think Radagon is fun. Radagon? No. I do like that phase of the final boss, but I don't like Elden Beast, and it kind of just ruins Radagon for me. Ends up being not fun. I don't think any boss in any of the games is inherently bad. That's kind of weird to say to me. Just because, like, if you enjoy it, it's good, right? There is no objectively good or objectively bad in this context. It's just like, if you had fun with it, it's good. If you didn't have fun with it, then it's bad for you, you know? I don't know. Or like, in that instance, it was bad for you, but you can go in with a different build and re-experience it in a different way, and it'll potentially be good for you now. You know, like there's so many ways to experience the bosses that saying a boss is good or bad is nonsense. It doesn't matter if you think fun and good are the same thing, because in the context of something that is trying to be fun, if it is fun, it is objectively good for you. Or I guess subjectively good. Like, it's not, you don't think that's what it means. That's what it means. Ingi was flopping around because he was dead. Span gravity and frostbite. That's funny. That sounds really fun. I think the way invasions are kind of already appeals to all audiences as much as it can. Except for the people who want like relatively fair invasions. And it still does it still does work for them because they can get those invasions, right? They can get those fair invasions. So for people who don't like being invaded, they can get a strong build that will deal with invaders quickly. For people who like fair PvP one-on-one fights, they can just do fight clubs or, you know, Tantar's tongues or whatever. And then people who like straight up invasions, like as they are, especially ones that would be fair, they just do it over and over until they get one. Like, I don't know, not every single one is going to be good, and that's fine. I don't know. It shouldn't be. Yes, one-shot abilities are absolutely okay in PvP. 100%. Like, and if you want to disallow them in fight clubs or whatever, sure. Technical skill doesn't mean good. Something can be incredibly technically impressive and still be bad. Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. You are allowed to play the game instead of instantly dying a lot of the time. There are instances where you will be one-shot. Just do it again until you have fun with it. Or just don't use it if you don't like that trade-off. It's not complicated. It's not competitive. Okay, now I see where your issue is coming from. It's not competitive. Invasions are not competitive. That is not the point of invasions. The point of invasions is to, like, add something to the gameplay, right? If you want it to be competitive, that's PvP. That's one-on-one, right? That's competitive. Invasions are not meant to be competitive. They're meant to be fun. And that's it. Maybe not necessarily for the invader, but they will be a lot of the time for the invader. Because most people who are being invaded won't have crazy PvP one-shot builds. Some people will, sure. Not all of them. I'll summon Solair after I take out the Black Knights, because I don't think Solair will do very well with them. And if the majority of them are unfun invasions and you don't want to deal with that, then don't do invasions. Like, I don't know. And as someone who doesn't like engaging with invasions whatsoever, the fact that you can nullify them is one of the best parts about them. That's how I feel about all Souls things. Like, if you don't like something in the Souls games, chances are you can just ignore it. Or not, if not ignore it, then heavily decrease its effect. Right, let's do this, Solair. Solair and sexy party Solair. He'll be here eventually. Yeah, I mean, invasions are something that should be fun, but if you personally aren't having fun with them, then just don't engage with them. Or if they are something that you want to like, then create scenarios where that will be a thing that happens, right? Like, random invasions might not always be fun, but welcome back, Fen. Got it. No, that's the thing. It's not competitive, though. Like, that's not what invasions are. Come on. Whee! Oh no. Okay. This will either end up being one of the easiest Gwyn fights I've ever had, or he's going to use a fast slash and obliterate me. How dare you? Hiya. There we go. Saved him. Alrighty. Solair would not like the flame, I don't think, and especially sexy party Solair would not like the flame. Solair double teaming Gwyn. So the thing about PvP is that it can be competitive, but just because two people are trying to win doesn't mean it's a necessarily competitive thing, right? Just because two people are competing doesn't mean it is competitive. Those are entirely separate things. They are not cooperative, but cooperative and competitive aren't the only two options. Huh? That's a black and white fallacy, I believe. Anyway, I'm very tired. I need to eat something. So I'm gonna go. I enjoyed the stream, and hopefully it ends up being a good video. Who knows? Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Love you all. Best Solair fight with Solair? Like, as in best fight where I summoned Solair, or best fight as Solair? Solair. So to answer the question, how hard is Dark Souls as the gayest character? Not very, but that's also probably only because I'm decent at the game. Like, these stats aren't great. If I had better stats, or if I had attributed them better, I probably would have done better at the video game. Oh, excuse me. The best fight, most fun fight where I summoned Solair was probably ONS, just because he obliterated them, and it was really funny. The best fight as Solair, none of them. I didn't really enjoy this build, personally. They're straight sword plus mid-roll. Mid-roll is really what did it in for me. I just don't think I enjoyed playing as Solair because of mid-roll. Anyway, I'm gonna eat. I don't know how to end this.